Welcome, Canada. Welcome, the USA. Hello, Germany, Spain, France, and the UK. And a very special hello to you, Whistler. It's the biggest night in all of mountain biking for the Red Bull Joyride. Day number 9 of Crankworx. Well, that starts right now. Yeah, a big night coming your way and a night of revelations here in Whistler for Crankworx day number 9. 2 of the items we'll get to later on in the show, but one of them, who is going to be crowned the Red Bull Joyride champion? That's up for grabs. We'll find out. But before we get to that, let's send things down to Jackie Montgomery. Jackie.
Thanks, Brad. Well, we are here at Whistler Mountain for year number 11 of Crankworx. Tens of thousands of fans are here packed into Whistler Village to watch the best slopestyle athletes in the world battle it out on the Red Bull Joyride course. For more on the course breakdown, let's send it over to Ryan Meyer.
Thanks, Jackie. This course is immaculate condition. We've had all the trail crew putting in ample shovel work time. All the rocks are swept out. They've even sifted some of the dirt to get everything immaculate so that the riders are in tip-top mental condition as they're going for their big tricks here. You see in front of the face of the lip here, even this has been packed in for an aesthetical appeal that just is perfection to any trail crew. We're in for a massive treat here on this course, and that's exactly why you come to Whistler Crankworx. Over to you, Brad.
Thanks, Ryan. We've talked about the course. Jackie's talked about the crowds, but I'm here to talk about the progression. It is going to be insane, ladies and gentlemen. Are you ready, Whistler?
Thanks, Big Brad. Yeah, well, we're just about getting ready to start. And I'll tell you what, social media always playing a big part. And if you're going to be taking the photos and chiming in, make sure you hashtag RBJoyride. Hashtag RBJoyride and also hashtag Crankworx. If you want to follow on Instagram, you want to follow Twitter and Facebook, that is at Crankworx. Well, I'll tell you what, we got Jackie standing by with a guy who has his finger on the pulse and can determine the outcome of tonight's event. Let's send it down to Jackie right now. Jackie.
Thanks, guys. Well, I am here with Paul Rack, our head judge for the Red Bull Joyride. So, Paul, what exactly are you looking for from the athletes in today's contest?
Well, pretty much at this event, we're looking for riders to trick every feature, do their top tricks, pretty much their most difficult tricks, and land their run from top to bottom and get on the podium.
10 features from top to bottom on this course. Is there anywhere on this course where riders can really separate themselves from the rest of the pack?
Pretty much the best way to separate yourself is trick difficulty. Trick bigger and better than the other guy will move you up. Where you do that is your choice.
All right, easy enough. Paul Rack, our head judge. Any questions, comments, or complaints after this event? This is your guy right here. All right, guys, back to you.
Oh, thank you so much, Jackie Montgomery. Well, now we know when everything is said and done, the dust clears, that's the guy to blame, Paul Rack right there. No, Paul Rack does an amazing job, and his judging crew, they are set to make things happen and do the best job that they possibly can out here with a packed house. I mean, every single year, it just gets bigger and bigger. If that's even possible, it is like mountain biking on steroids. All right, well, let's think about last year. What a big year it was for Joyride last year. And by the magic of video, let's rewind the clock a year ago and check out last year's Red Bull Joyride. Take a look. Pilgrim right now, currently ranked #2 in the FMB World Tour rankings.
360 tug no-hander. Backflip bar spin over top the first SRAM sender. 360 up top.
And there is a look at him right there, Martin Soderstrom.
Nollie 360, off of the top Joyride drop, 360, over the next GoPro cannon. Court 360, knack, solid style.
Oh, yes.
And downside whip, double, coming out of Martin. He loves spinning those whips around, going up top onto the cabin. Bar spin up top the cabin, 360 off the cabin drop, backflip over the long jump.
Oh, yes.
360 win!
Drop it. Martin Soderstrom, ladies and gentlemen.
Brandon Semenuk, the winner in 2011.
Truck driver on top. So that was opposite truck driver going into regular truck driver. 360 win. Oh, look at him jump out on the opposite double tail whip. Oh, yeah. Regular double tail whip. Bar spin transfer over top of the jump. Bar spin and a big backflip. Huge trick jumping off of the last drop there. Let's see what he has coming up. Is this the run of his life?
Yes! Holy mother! Trucker, shut the front door! Brandon Semenuk, ladies and gentlemen!
Oh, yeah, and that's how it played out for you last year. Brandon Semenuk getting his second win. Your Red Bull Joyride, Martin Soderstrom in that second spot, and Sam Pilgrim in third. Martin Soderstrom not in tonight's event. Sam Pilgrim not in, so that's going to leave 2 open spots on the podium for someone else to get in on that. Well, we'll be getting started here for you in just a moment. Thank you so much for everybody coming out. You guys, this is the place to be because it's the biggest event in mountain biking, and it's coming your way. Don't go anywhere. It's all on the way for you right here. Your Red Bull Joyride. It's coming up. Don't go anywhere. It's on, Whistler. Day number 9, Crankworx Whistler, biggest event coming up, your Red Bull Joyride. Boy, I'll tell you what, we have a packed house indeed out here, showing up, blowing up, and representing mountain biking free ride the way they know how. It's all on the way for you. You can take a look at our aerial shots right here, all the way to Skiers Plaza, to this finish corral, and how packed it is. Some of the best in the world out here. You got the 2-timer club, guys like Brandon Semenuk, he's in the 2-timer, he's won it twice. You got guys also like Cam Zink, he's won it twice, but no one has ever won it 3 different times. Well, early Jackie, of course, Jackie Montgomery caught up with a contender here at Red Bull Joyride. Let's send it down to Jackie Montgomery. Jackie?
Thanks, guys. I'm here with Brett Reeder. Now, Brett, you missed out on last year's Red Bull Joyride because you had a back injury. How good does it feel to be back competing this year in 2014?
Yeah, it feels awesome. My back is 100% this year, and I'm healthy, and I'm feeling good on the course so far.
Now, you've been out here in Whistler for the past week, riding this course, trying to get your run dialed in. How confident are you feeling coming into today's contest?
It's pretty good. There's been lots of events going on, so our course hasn't been open, the full course, so, you know, we could maybe have used a little bit more practice. We've had a few bad weather days, but I think we're all making it work, and we're all getting ready, and we're going to drop at 5 tonight.
Now, we were just talking before we started doing our interview, and you're saying today really it's anyone's game to win this event. As we looked at the stacked list of competitors, what is it going to take to kind of separate yourself from the rest of the pack?
I mean, consistency is always key. My biggest goal is to do the tricks that I know I can do and not go too far outside of the box. And I think hopefully that's what it'll take.
All right, Brett Reeder looking for his first win here at the Red Bull Joyride. Guys, we'll send it back over to you.
All right, Brad J up in the booth. Let's send it over to Ryan Myers and check in with Ryan. Ryan?
Well, you've been hearing it from us all week. This is one of the best Joyride courses to date. 11 years in the making, and let's talk about why it is the best. Some of the most features on a slopestyle course, nearly a dozen trickable features they're saying, and that's what's gonna wrap it up. Are you gonna be able to have the tricks in your bag that you're able to make it unique the whole way down, and are you gonna be able to keep to your progression and keep things moving? We had the 4-pack on course, and that's gonna be something where you see all the big tricks, the combinations, the best tricks, the opposites, but I don't think that's exactly where it's going to make or break a certain rider's run. It's going to be on the small little details, and when we're getting into features like the Red Bull Up Cannon, that's definitely something that I think is going to be a high-scored feature. When I talk about a cannon, you think, okay, we've had this on so many slopestyle courses, but not exactly like this. They've really stepped up the incline on the log, and that makes it work exactly like a kicker. A lot of the riders are feeling comfortable doing flip tricks and other combinations off that, and if you're able to do that, the judges are going to score you very high. Moving into some other features that are going to get very high points if you're able to trick them, the Joyride cabin right behind me. The flat drop on the bottom, that is where some big tricks that I've heard are going to be thrown down. Some stuff that we haven't seen. It's a massive 20-foot drop, and if you're able to trick that, go inverted potentially, that is where some judges are going to really boost you up into those top podium positions. For more on the rest, Brad to back.
And Ryan Meyer breaking it down for you. You know what? And you've talked to all the riders out here, all the guys that are competing. I had a chance to catch up Brandon Semenuk just about an hour ago, and I was just asking him straight up, is this the best course in the history of Red Bull Joyride? And Brandon Semenuk said yes, so he agrees. All the other riders agree, so you can't get better than this. I find myself surrounded by mountain bike elite here in the booth right now. I got Aaron Chase, pro rider, and also a judge too as well. Aaron Chase, I got one question, man. Who is going to win Red Bull Joyride?
Well, I'm feeling the breeze coming over these mountains, so I'm thinking some of these veterans like Cam Zink or even your brother, Cam McCall. So I like those guys. I mean, I got to say, though, this is looking like a Semenuk course.
So you're thinking Semenuk. Okay, T-Mac, of course, you're not able
it's a solid cliche answer.
You're not able to compete because you're injured, but if you have to pick one guy, and I'm making you pick one guy, who's the guy?
If I have to pick one guy, it's Brett Reeder. I think this course suits him. There's a ton of chance for oppo stuff. Stuff's back-to-back, and he's just always on. When he's on his bike and he's not hurt, his head's always in the right place, and he's always on. So I think this is his course. I think he's going to win.
Ryan Meyer, partner in crime, what are you saying, man?
I think that's a pretty safe bet that we're going to have a Brett Reeder and Brandon Semenuk show, but what happens if those guys crash out? I think I'm going with Tommy G, with Thomas Chenot.
Thomas Chenot, all right. Well, I'm liking Nikolai Rogatkin. That's the pick that I'm looking at, and we'll see how it all shapes up. We'll check back at halftime with our Red Bull Joyride panel. All right, well, let's take a look at your FFB leaderboard as it stands right now. Take a look at this right now. And this is, of course, your FFB Diamond Series standings right now. Anthony Missouri, he's got 1,000 points because he got that win and laid this out. Thomas Chenot, he got second out there, so he comes away with 900 points from that. Sam Reynolds in third. Not going to be seeing Sam Reynolds out here, but a guy who has a chance to move up that leaderboard, Nikolai Rogatkin in that 4th spot. That's your FMB Diamond Series leaderboard going on right there. All right. Well, it's time to check in with Jackie Montgomery. She has a report, a rider report for it. So let's check in with Jackie Montgomery with a rider report. What's going on, Jackie?
Thanks, guys. Not just a rider report. I have a rider here with me, Carson Storch. Carson, this is your first year in the Red Bull Joyride. You're just saying you were always down there in the crowd wishing you could be here. So what does it feel like to be dropping in here in just a few minutes?
It feels amazing. I've watched from the sidelines for years, and I'm ready to go, ready to put down a run.
You said you've been working towards this all year long, competing a ton leading up to this. How are the nerves feeling going into one of the biggest contests in the slopestyle industry?
There's definitely nerves, but just trying to stay calm. Just focus on my run.
All right, we're gonna let him focus on his run. Carson Storch, the first to drop in. Guys, we'll send it back down to you.
All right, Jackie Montgomery, and of course, just added to it, Carson Storch out of Bend, Oregon, doing it for Diamondback, 21 years old. He's getting the nod, and that's got to be exciting stuff to be getting the nod like that. I'll tell you what. Well, comp format. Let's take a look at the comp format. I got Ryan Meyer up here in the booth here, and Ryan Meyer. Comp format, Ryan, what is it going to take out here?
Basically, we have this simple 2-run format. We're not having a super final this year. Riders decided, okay, we just want 2 runs to go. 3 is a little too much. So it's going to be a lot more stressful on them, I feel. You have to just put in a banger run on first run, see how things go, and hopefully it's going to get you onto the top spot.
So when you have a 2-run format, do you think that is better than having the super final and having that 3rd run later, or is it a safer situation for riders?
I personally would have liked a best 3 run for myself because I could catch up that way, but these guys are so dialed. I think they're super into just having 2 runs, so it's not too sketchy. You have to go up for a 3rd run and then even step yourself up again. So just 2 runs, it seems like that's the format they're super happy with. I think we're going to be happy with it as well because you're going to see jam-packed stuff in run 1.
All right, well, there's an elite club. We talked about the 2-time winner, the 2-timer club, and that's Cam Zink. He's won it twice. Paul Bass has won it twice. And then, of course, Semenuk has won it twice. But a whole slew of guys have won it a single time. But I'll tell you what, it's going to be hard to see if it can be done 3 times. But let's take a look. The list of the winners, the champions in Red Bull Joyride. Take a look.
If you can win here, if you can put it all together, the right run, in the right place, at the right time. If you can lay it all out, despite the danger and the stress, only then count yourself amongst the very best. Elite company.
Winning Crankworx just once in a lifetime is a huge achievement.
This isn't just a normal event. This is the Super Bowl of our sport. I first wanted to go back-to-back and to win it twice. So huge moment for me in my life.
It means the world. I mean, the ring, it's just a possession, but it's awesome because it signifies something great.
Privilege isn't given, it's earned. Welcome to the club, buddy. Who's next?
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you who's next. We got previous winners in the mix out here. 3 previous winners who are actually competing out here. And I mentioned Cam Zink. He is one of them. Cam Zink right there out of the USA. 28 years old. He has won it twice. He is just absolutely on point. Then Brandon Semenuk. He has also won it twice as well. So he's another member of the 2-timer club when it comes to Joyride. And then you got Thomas Janot, and a guy that, of course, that Ryan Meyer was picking to possibly win this. Thomas did it 2 years ago. He got on the podium, and he took the big win out there, and it definitely changed his life. And that's what it does. You win out here, it changes your life, Ryan.
You know, a lot of people said as well, Tommy G didn't, you know, he didn't win that fully, and I think he has a lot of redemption, came back. He really has proven himself within the last year, especially in the offseason. You can just see his skills on the bike have improved immensely. He is so comfortable. That's why I pick him for doing really well tonight.
Well, he's definitely a guy can do it, but then you look at all the other single guys. I'll tell you what, a lot of other guys can make it happen. Well, we're just a couple minutes to go. Don't go anywhere, people. This is the place to be. Red Bull Joyride. That's coming at you next. Red Bull Joyride. I got to ask you one question. Are you ready, Whistler? Ryan Meyer, this crowd is off the hook out here today, or off the chain, however you want to say it. But we need to take a look at our start list to break it down for you. Who are the heavy hitters who are coming your way here? Going to be competing in your Red Bull Joyride. Take a look at this. Carson Storch, we saw him on there. Thomas Lemoine and the rest of the crew right there.
Exactly. Carson and Simon both won themselves in a spot here because of injuries previously. Jeff Golovich, local boy. Louis Rabot as well, winning himself in a spot from France. Thomas Ida, Brett Reeder, of course, somebody that we're always expecting to see in top 3 contention. Logan, Pete Santa Cruz rider. Cameron McCall, definitely no stranger to slope style. I mean, Cam has been known here for many many years he's been able to compete constantly in slopestyle. Darren Bearclaw, Yannick Grenier, the French boy, Simon Gauthier, Cam Zink, definitely no stranger to mountain bike free riding. He's always one to be on top there. Nikolai Rogatkin. Brad, tell me something about Nikolai Rogatkin.
Well, he's a guy that I picked just because he's been so solid the last few years. I mean, he got there, I think, 4th it was out in Les Deux Alpes. Then he got on the podium in Colorado. So he has been on point. But then you got these guys. Anthony Mazzari got his first huge win. He did it in Les Deux Alpes. Tomas, you know, we know he's already won it before. And Brandon Salmonek, 5 freaking podiums and 2 wins, man. All right. Well, that's how it's breaking down for you. That is your start list. Well, let's check in 4th member of our team, Big Brad Ewan. Let's send it down to Brad. Brad?
I can see a line in the course, Whistler. This course is absolutely perfect for today's festivities. Are you ready, Whistler? I said, are you ready? Well, I'll give you Red Bull Joyride.
All right, it is time to get this thing started. No other competition can start. Red Bull Joyride, day number 9. We've been waiting for it since the start of Crankworx, and it is go time right here in Whistler. And our first competitor is locked, and he is loaded and ready to drop in here and do battle. A recent addition to the program, talking about Carson Storch, doing it in a big way for Diamondback, just 21 years old. A 2-run format. He's out of Bend, Oregon. Put your hands together for our first rider, Carson Storch.
So Carson's rolling up to the first drop here, our Joyride drop. The course might look similar to you guys if you watch from last year, but this drop has leveled itself up. Regular 360 off of that drop for Carson. Solid bar spin as he's popping over the giant up box. 3-whip for Carson over the next double, and coming up into that SRAM curve wall ride feature that is going to be difficult to trick. Tuck no hander to bar spin over the first 4-pack jump. Not quite getting the second one off of that big Red Bull double. So he's busting around here into the cannon feature. Really nice dump 360 for Carson. Oh, and going for the transfer whip. Hipping from the left side hip over to the right side landing. 360 up onto the cabin. And 360 off, up-away. Tuck no hander, or toboggan, pardon me, coming into that little loop feature. Bar spin up, 360, finishing it off. First solid run in the books for Carson Storch.
Holy crap, we got ourselves a competition and only our first competitor. People of Whistler, let's hear it for the full pull by Carson Storch. Well, let's see if we can take a look at some of the replays from that blistering run from Carson Storch.
So, just checking out. Step up to the cabin here. That's where he went for a regular 360 up. Then the opposite way, spinning off the cabin. Looks so clean, you couldn't even tell that it was opposite. There's that nice bar spin into the Bud Light whale tail, and that really nice solid 360 out. Really clean landing on everything, and a first solid run for our first rider down on Joyride course.
And we wait for the score to come in for Carson. This will be the first score in the books. The benchmark is a 60 even. One more time, a 60 for Carson Storch, and our first run in the books. So now we take our attention back up top, one of the best, or the best Red Bull Joyride courses in all 11 years that this has been going on. The best course, riders agree.
So one of the youngest guys as well in this contest, 18 years old, all the way up from France, Simon Pages. He was not sure if he was going to be able to ride in this contest due to injuries from previous riders yesterday and this morning. He earned himself a spot into the final here today. He was ready to do it up in practice. And let's just see what the young French boy has for us. First year in Whistler, first year at Crankworx.
Here comes Pages, his first run of the 2-run format, looking to beat a 60.
And 360 off of the first Joyride jump. A nice bar spin off the giant up log. 3-whip over the Bud Light. Step up, coming around the SRAM wall. Nice and fast into this 4-pack backflip bar spin off the first SRAM sender and into the Red Bull lip flip whip. And going down hard for Pages.
But he puts his hand up, and you need to put your hands together for him right there. He is okay. Let's hear it for Simon Pages. Not sure what went wrong there. We'll have to take a look at that, Ryan.
It looks, to me, it looked like he just came up a tiny bit short, little off axis on that flip up, ended up casing it and just spun him around. We'll take a look at it in the replay.
Well, maybe we can see possibly what went wrong there if we can get a replay of that particular crash there from Pages. Here's a look.
So here, just linking up into that flip whip, got a little off axis and tiny bit too short, yeah. So he ended up hanging up and just tossed him back around. Nice to see he was wearing that solid full face helmet, something that the riders are all opting to do these days, safety first.
All right, well, let's see what the score is for him. That's not gonna battle with that top spot, the 60 so far, so 27.4 is what he'll look to improve on. But I think what we need to kind of break down is the keys to the competition, Ryan Meyer.
Well, we were talking about this before. We have consistency, precision, and first run bangers. So when you're talking about an entire slopestyle run, how consistent can you be? It's not just that one jump that you're able to do that banger trick off. Are you able to do it the entire way down, and can you do it for 2 runs consecutively? Precision, are you able to get your feet back on the pedals? Are you able to get your hands perfectly in line so that you can link up to that next trick? And are you able to do it always, every time when it's required from you? And then we're talking first run bangers. That's really when we talk about the guys who have those big tricks and who is able to do those big tricks first run. Because we're saying 2 runs, you got to go for broke first time around, and are you able to do it?
Indeed, and you are right. First run bangers, you know, I'll tell you what, judges looking for them to take chances. The earlier you take those chances in the run, the better your score. Now we take our attention up top for this next gentleman. His first run, Thomas Limon. He is from France, doing it for Santa Cruz Bicycles. Just 17 years old and ready to come in right now on the biggest show in mountain biking right here. Here we go. Next up, put your hands together for the Frenchman, Thomas Limon.
I don't know if you guys have been here throughout the week, but he's as well been competing in a lot of different events. He did very well at the dual speed and style, as well as up at pump track, just killing it. And look at slope style, tossing that nice 360 off the first drop. 360 X up over the giant box and into the Bud Light step up. Solid big backflip. Coming out of the French rider, only 17 years old and flying high, meters in the air. Big old backflip, bar spin off the SRAM sender. Backflip tuck over the next Red Bull ramp. And coming up into the hip section, this is where you split off left or right. Decides to go for the Red Bull can-end feature. Oh, and he's going for the transfer as well. Bar spin to tuck, no hander. Up into the Joyride cabin, tail whip up top. 360 off the big drop. It's a 20-foot drop all the way down over top of the banister of that cabin and linking up into the bottom jump here. Tuck no-hander into the Bud Light whale tail. Huge backflip out.
Thomas Limon right there putting in a good first run. Remember, the score to beat right now is just a 60. So that's what he's trying to beat. I love the fact, Ryan, he's taking chances up there at the beginning of the course and not just kind of putting in stock runs.
Yeah, I know as well he has a lot of extra tricks in his bag. He was trying to hold it back a tiny bit for that one. But look, we're talking about precision and consistency. Are you able to do those tricks all the time? So I think he's opting, let's go for the ones that I know are going to get me a first solid run. Then I can go for the second one. But tricks like that flip whip up at that top Bud Light step up, that's really what's going to get him on top of the leaderboard here. And that nice tuck no-hander in. Remember, you have to be able to trick all these features. There's 12 features that the riders are saying are trickable on this course. That means you have to be able to do a different one off each jump.
All right, score coming in, looking to beat a 60 even. That's what he's trying to beat. Carson Storch has that 60. Does he do it? 73.6 for Thomas Limon right there, taking over the top spot with that score.
So a nice run for the Frenchman.
All right, well, I think it's time to show the people, good people, what it's like to come down this course. Let's check out our GoPro course preview and take a look what this course is all about. Check this out.
Hey, hey, I'm Jeff Gulovich, and this is the GoPro course preview of the Red Bull Joyride course. Let's go. So just rolling into this. Pretty basic. Got a fun little roller you can manual through. Keep some mellow speed here. Nice drop to start. Then we got this cool up wall feature that I always overshoot. Again, goes into a killer step up jump. Love that thing. Onto the SRAM wall ride. Big jumps. Fun jump, you can whip it right out. You got pumped for the next one. Totally awesome though. So good. Dialed right hand berm here. You gotta pump for this boner a bit. Air off. Yeah. Fun hip. Always whip that out. Right onto the cabin. Take a mellow stroke off the drop. Then we got this cool toilet bowl feature right at the BMX world. Then we got the last feature here. Well built. Cool cabin drop in and out. Just flow right onto it. Then you burn your way down to the finish, where you have cupcakes and high fives.
And that's the GoPro course preview, guys.
And that's your GoPro course preview, courtesy of Jeff Gulovich out of North Van. How many Gully fans we got out here in Whistler today? A whole bunch of them. Well, he is locked and loaded, and it is now his turn for his first run. Well, coming to you by way of North Vancouver. 27 years old, doing it for Rocky Mountain. Put your hands together for the local boy, Gully Jeff Gulovich.
As he rolls through, I think the crowd is gonna get hyped. I know he has a few friends, bicycle rockers stepping down to that Red Bull cannon. Let's see how hyped you can get on Gully here. Real nice 360 for the local boy out that first drop. Nice downside one-footer. Coming up, 360 table over top of the step up and into the SRAM curve wall ride. Here comes Jeff onto the 4-pack, whipping it out. Nice dirt jump, steez. Not quite getting the tricks there. Still making a smooth run, come around for Jeff and into the cannon feature. Looks like Jeff's just gonna hold it out. He didn't get a couple of the tricks he was looking for. Cork flip from transferring, right lip to left landing, coming up into the Joyride cabin here with a nice 360 off. Jeff is really showcasing his big mountain riding abilities on these drop features. And into the Bud Light cabin. Here we go, big cork flip for Jeff Gulovich.
So Gully, the North Van local, put your hands together for Jeff Gulovich one more time, Whistler. Come on now. So we'll take a look at some of these replays.
Look at this cabin up here, the Joyride. He was going for the tuck no hander up, but got a really perfect 360 off of that big 20-foot drop. Really showcasing his big mountain ability. Jeff is known for doing so many disciplines in mountain biking. And this Bud Light whale tail, we know Jeff likes to go inverted, and he does it here so perfectly for the crowd in Whistler.
All right, score to beat, a 73.6 is what he's trying to beat. Score coming in 43-2 for Gully. So he'll have his work cut out for him on a second run, coming up in this 2-run format out here in your Red Bull Joyride. It's hard to believe day number 9, the biggest event of all of Crankworx taking place right now. Welcome everybody watching us online. Red Bull TV on your Apple TV, redbull.ca. There's your leaderboard right there. Limon with that 73.6. Storch, a recent addition. He's in second with a 60. Gully in that 3rd spot. And Pages, of course, went down, so that's why, hence the lower score right there for him. And now we take all of our attention up top. Here we go. Next up, who do we got up here, Ryan?
Louis Ribaud, one of the most stylish guys in mountain biking right now. Definitely one of my favorite riders on the contest scene. Kind of that guy who decides to go for style over the biggest tricks. But we've seen some big stuff out of him. Cork 360s as well. So who knows what's going to come out of Louis Ribaud these days.
Well, here he comes right now. Whistler, put your hands together. He's coming by way of France. This is Louis Ribaud.
So Louis actually winning at the Swatch Prime Line in Munich Mash, selecting himself a nice position in. Oh, big tail whip off of that up box. 360 invert, that's that style I was talking about. Such a difficult trick to do, and especially Ryan to do it in a contest. That just shows he really wants to showcase that dirt jump ability. Big backflip bar spin into flat spin 360. Tons of style when he dumps around and into this Red Bull cannon. Nice tail whip out, coming up into the hip features. Transferring over, massive amplitude that some of the judges are really going to dog high for that point category. Big backflip up top of the cabin. Oh, and going for the tail whip, missing his pedals and going down at the bottom of the landing.
And I think that's just more frustration. Put your hands together for Louis Rabot right there. He is up, having a good run right until that end, Ryan.
Yeah, and unfortunate, he had to go down on that. He had a really solid run linking up. Really nice to see Louis Rabot out here, though.
So let's take a look at some of these replays. I think we got one of the flip whip here.
Yeah, so this is just coming out of that SRAM wall. Riders are flying at about 50 kilometers an hour into that first jump. Backflip, tail whip, so clean, and into that flat spin 360. Just perfect execution on all that. First rider we see do a backflip up top and had tons of amplitude. Then going over into that tail whip, you just see you got a little off kilter.
Looked like he missed a pedal on that right-hand side trying to get that foot back on the pedal there.
Yeah, looked like he just kind of got a little blown off there, and feet didn't make it onto the pedals, and unfortunately that's exactly what you need to make that landing.
As a competitor, what do you do there when you have that fall like that, Ryan? How do you shake that off for your second run?
Well, two-run format, you can't even think about it. You just have to go back up and know that you have these tricks in your bag, select it into your head, and just go down and shut off that switch of being scared.
I got to ask you, Whistler, are you enjoying the Red Bull Joyride? Are you not entertained? Oh, big old crowd out here. Now we go to Tomáš Zajda now for you from the Czech Republic. Doing it for Dartmoor, 24 years old for Zajda in his first run, Ryan.
One of the riders who seems to be going to every single contest on the FMB circuit. I've seen him do 2 contests in a weekend the other day. Just a rider who loves going out and competing, always doing big combination tricks, and you're going to see that with his tail whip stuff here.
Well, here we go. Tomáš Zajda from the Czech Republic, his first run coming in hot.
So Thomas coming up into the Joyride drop, 360 X up into the giant box. Nice bar spin to X up. This is the combinations I was speaking of. Backflip whip on the step up and around the SRAM wall. Looks like he was going for a bar spin there. I'm going to be excited to see some riders doing tricks. Nice regular no-foot can into a tail whip off of the next 4-pack feature. Going up into the Red Bull cannon. Zajda with a bar spin. And linking it up onto that. Oh, going way too big on that tail whip. I think he was getting a little excited. You guys were cheering too hard for him.
No, you can't cheer too hard, Ryan Meyer. You definitely can't cheer too hard, but you know what you can do is put your hands together for Zajda one more time and send him back up top with some authority on his second run here. It's getting a run top to bottom. Like Ryan's saying, getting a trick on every opportunity you can. Let's see if we can see the fall here and what happened.
He just went off on that Bud Light lip and tossed that whip. It was way too high, I believe, on that one. It just looked like the whip went around, couldn't quite catch the pedals, too rear end heavy.
Well, that's one of those situations you kind of got to plan your tricks. You got to know what you need to do. 29.8. That is going to be the score for him, 29.8. Hey, all you people enjoying yourself, you're watching it at home, you're watching it here live in Whistler. Social media, man, help us out. Let's get behind this. Hashtag RB Joyride. RB Joyride. Here's Eric Burkell. Let's go. Brandon Semenuk and Logan Pete. Wish I could be there watching it on Pink Bike Live. And Lewis Gulliver. Let's get her done. RB Joyride. Hashtag Crankworx. And you guys do the same, RB Joyride, hashtag RB Joyride, and hashtag Crankworx. Well, coming up for you, we got Brett Reeder coming up, Logan Pete on the way, Cam McCall, The Claw, and more. They're all on the way. Don't go anywhere, because they're coming up next. More of your Red Bull Joyride. Oh, yeah. Welcome back to the biggest event ever in mountain biking, your Red Bull Joyride right here in beautiful Whistler. Let's take a look at how things are stacking up so far, Ryan Meyer.
Thomas Lemar, first time out here in Crankworx, and on top right now, 73.6. Carson Storch as well. Didn't even know if he was going to ride yesterday in the mix. 60 in the second spot. Jeff Gullovich, local boy, Gully, third place. Louis Rabeau, fourth. Thomas Zaida in fifth, and Simon Pages in sixth spot, rounding it off.
Well, the score to beat is at 73.6. Timothy Moine with that score right there, and that's the score to beat. And our next guy, that's all you're trying to do, is you're trying to beat that score. And this man right here had a rough season last year. He was injured most of the season, but he come back. He is healthy. He is ready to go, and he is locked and loaded, ready to drop in. He is from Mount Albert, doing it for the Trek C3 project, 21 years old, and rolling with the white walls. I like the white walls.
I know, the kid's got a lot of style as well. He's got that Tim Hortons plaid representing Canada on the bike there. But I was speaking to him at least early. I showed up about 9 o'clock looking at course, and there was Reeder hovering over, just planning out his run. But he said, you know, I'm calm, I'm collected. I got this thing. I just got to believe in my abilities. And Whistler, get behind him, because this is getting crazy now. Big backflip from Reeder off the first drop. Oh, truck bar to bar back. Front flip off the step up. This is what's going on. Whistler makes some noise for Brett Reeder. Big old backflip whip. Oh, cork 720. Oh, it's so dumped in with his front. Coming up into the cannon. Big backflip off the cannon. This is what I was talking about. That jump is so dialed this year. 360ing the hip transfer and up into the Joyride cabin. Bar up. 360 bar down. And what does he have coming into this 270 loop? Up into the Bud Light whale tail. Whip in. Free off out.
Is that all you got, Whistler? For the local boy, let's hear it for Brett Reeder.
Oh, that was a jam-packed run. Can we just get a couple replays on a few of those things?
Ask and you shall receive, Ryan Meyer. Let's take a look at some of that run from Brett Reeder. Check this out, starting things off.
First start, Joyride drop, sending it with a big backflip off of the flat drop. Then we go into a 360 bar-to-bar back off the giant uplog, and that front flip over the next feature. Everything was jam-packed. Not only was he tricking stuff, not only was every jump unique. Look at this. That was the opposite tail whip up into the whale tail, and a perfect backflip whip off. So just a banger run for Brett Reeder.
Score coming in. Score to beat, 73.6. Does Brett Reeder do it? And a 94.2! Are you kidding me? A 94.2 on his first run for Brett Reeder. Put those hands together one more time.
Reeder, that was absolutely ridiculous, man. How does it feel to get that out of your pocket?
Oh, I don't know. I'm speechless right now. Sitting here with a broken back last year and then finally coming down. Oh.
Dude, you crushed it. Is that the Evel Knievel stunt bike, buddy?
Yeah, it is.
That's what I'm talking about. Ladies and gentlemen, Brett Reeder.
I mean, I don't know. I don't even know what to say. I mean, that sends a message to the rest of the competitors out here. Look, I'm Brett Reeder. I'm back. I was injured last year. Not the case this year. And I'm gunning for the top spot at 94.2. Amazing. So you got Carson Storch in third with that 60. Then you got 73.6 for Thomas Lemar in that second spot. And Brett Reeder dropping a bomb on Whistler with a 94.2, Ryan.
Ooh, 20 points. Over 20 points lead already on second place. And we're just getting started.
Yeah, that is unbelievable. Earlier, of course, T-Mac is looking like a genius. He was calling Reeder to actually win this thing. But let's take our attention back up top and get things going. We ain't done yet. We're just in the first runs right now. Logan Pete. Here's a guy that can put down a run in the 90s at any point in time. So Logan Pete, he's out of Roberts Creek. He's 24 years old. Logan doing it for Santa Cruz Bicycles, and he's ready to do battle right there. He knows the score to beat. Here he comes. Put those hands together for Canada's Logan Pete.
And no stranger to riding well. He's out there on the coast living with Brandon Semenuk. You may have seen him in the bar for live 360, and then opposite 3 off of that up box. Perfect flip whip out of Logan Pete. You know, this rider had a super hard leg break a couple seasons ago. He was out so long that it wouldn't heal, and look at how solid he's come back. Backflip bar into a nice flip over there, and coming up into this Red Bull Cannon 360. So smooth. Going for the right-hand Bud Light hip there. Nice topside tail up from Logan Pete, scrubbing a tiny bit of speed. Going for the tuck no-hander on the cabin. Oppo 360 off. And coming around up into the last jump here, the Bud Light whale tail. Big backflip. So a nice solid first run, finishing it off for Logan Pete.
Now, I'm not sure, not playing the judge, don't know what the judges are going to see on this, but I'll tell you what, Logan, I think taking it just a little bit easier than Brett Reeder's run, maybe just trying to make sure you get a comfortable run under your belt, Ryan.
Oh, and that's nice always to be able to get the entire run under your belt. And you're down at the bottom, you said, okay, I stomped everything. Look at the smile on Logan's face. I think he's stoked.
But is it enough to challenge a 94-2?
A really nice rotation on that flip whip, coming up into the Bud Light whale tail and just sending it off with a backflip, but keeping it nice and safe, making sure that he has that first run under the belt. Does not want to crash, definitely, on first run.
And a 65-4-0 for Logan Pete. And that's going to put him right into that third spot with that score, 65-4 behind Limon in that second spot. And Brett Reeder still at 94. Over 20 points between him and the second place finisher right there. There's a look at our leaderboard with Reeder on top. And now the veterans' turn. We take it up to the vet, Cam McCall. Locked and loaded. Now, you remember Cam, 2012, got third place, was on the podium. That was the year Thomas Genot won that year. And Cam McCall getting on the podium. And, you know, that's what he's looking to do here. Right now, just to crack the top 3, you got to beat a 65-4 for third, a 73-6 for number 2, or a 94.2 for the first spot. Here he goes. From the USA, let's hear it for Cam McCall.
Oh, going opposite 360 off that first drop. Tail whip over the giant up log. 360 whip, and oh, sliding out, Cam. Oh, his hands up, having a good time though. Really unfortunate, got a little off axis on that landing. Super bummer for Cam McCall. Maybe he's gonna be able to finish the run for you guys here. Whistler, make some noise for Cam!
Not to disappoint, going back, hiking back up on that landing and gonna finish off this run. And here he goes, back on the bike one more time for Cam McCall.
Blasting around that SRAM wall. He is gonna finish it up. Nice big backflip on that first jump. Styling it out. Obviously, we know that when a rider in mountain biking crashes, that's pretty much his run done, but Cam's doing it here. Superman C-grab off of that log feature. Might just be getting a little bit of practice in as well as he's blasting up top of this Joyride cabin. Bar up, whip off. And into the Bud Light whale tail finale jump here. Solid backflip from Cam.
Yeah, put your hands together one more time for Cam McCall. His first run had that fall, but he's got another opportunity to go for the full pull and see if he can get up on a podium position like he did in 2012. Now, let's take a look at this, Ryan, and maybe you can dissect maybe what happened to him here.
Well, look nice and simple after that tail whip, but see, he gets a little too off axis as he looked actually almost like he stopped spinning with his bike. So sometimes your body keeps spinning and your bike doesn't. He had to pull it around there, and it just unfortunately wasn't able to keep that front tire on the dirt.
So 34.8 right there. He'll look to improve, and he'll have another shot at it. I call this the Back-to-back-to-back legends right now. Cam McCall, now the Claw getting ready, then be followed by Yannick Ranieri coming up. And Claw showing us the horns right there, so you know he's ready.
No, I've been up here for 11 years. Darren Bearclaw was one of the first riders who I saw just blow my mind. My brother and I were standing under that road gap that used to have in course. Claw comes down on that blue Specialized, 360s off that. I mean, these are the moments that are made at Crankworx, the memories that are out here for the spectators.
Well, here we go. Dropping it next for his first run. Doing it for Red Bull. Put your hands together for the Claw.
So Darren, nice 360, as we mentioned, one of the first guys starting to do those tricks on drops. Indian air off of the next giant box. Oh, and going for the 360 as well. Not get.
Running man almost. Running out of that, staying on the bike.
I think Claude just did a 720 whip, but not completely in the air the whole time. Unfortunately as well, missing the 360 whip opportunity on the Bud Light step up. Claw is gonna have to finish his run.
So Claw just getting back up top. Here he goes, gonna finish off this run. Here comes the Claw.
Into the Red Bull cannon, just airing it out. Getting a little bit of extra practice time before he has to go up there. Wait for all the riders to drop so that he can then go for his second run. 360 off the cabin. No big deal, just 20 feet. Up into this Bud Light whale tail. On another nice solid 360 from Darren Bearclaw.
And one more time for the legend, the ambassador, whatever you call him. Let's hear it for Darren Bearclaw right there, the Claw. All right, now we saw kind of what went wrong when he went down, but let's see the good things about that run that he did pull off in that run, that if he could just add those without the fall, he could be looking at a good, decent score.
Well, I mean, this was just practice here. We know Darren is very solid on his 360s, especially coming off of drops.
And the score coming in for him, that's going to be a 3-0. He's going to head back up top. One more run to go for the Claw. One more time, let's hear it for Darren Bearclaw. So let's take a look at our leaderboard. There's your current leader right there. That would be Brett Reeder. High fives from the boys. In third, Logan Pete with that 65.4. Limon in that second spot with a 73.6. And Reeder, the story of the day thus far with a 94.2. Yannick Ranieri now getting ready to go. It's going to be his turn now. Yannick knows what he has to do. He knows the score to beat. And if anyone knows what to do here, Yannick does. Here we go. In his first run from France, doing it for YT Industries, 27 years old, Yannick Ranieri.
So Yannick, you see he was just trying to memorize his run as he's going down, playing it out. 360 off the first drop for Yannick. Up into the giant up box, nice tail whip. He's doing it for YT Industries on that hardtail bike. You're gonna notice some of the riders are opting to ride a dual suspension slope bike here. Oh, big flat spin 360 X up from Yannick and into a big flip whip. Yannick has some great signature style on those flat spin 360. Huge tuck no-hander off of the cannon and into the Red Bull hip with a nice 1 foot downside. Coming up into the Joyride cabin, cannonball. Whip down, super clean landing for the French rider Yannick as he busts around nice and fast into the Bud Light whale tail, up and into a big flip, ending it off.
Yannick, let's hear it for Yannick Ranieri one more time right there on his first run. Now, I don't know if that challenges the top, but the deal is just to get in that top three and get on a podium out here is something that's hard to do. So we'll see what the score comes in for Yannick. Still trying to beat that top score so far of the day. Brett Reeder, 94.2. Let's take a look here at the replay here. I think that's, we're gonna get a look at that.
You know, we saw a lot of big amplitude out of Yannick, especially this first jump here. That's his signature trick, flat spin 360 X up, and then into this massive flip whip. Definitely the hardtail is giving him an advantage there as he's able to pump through and gain a lot of speed. And into this Bud Light whale tail.
Didn't quite get the trick he was probably looking for up into that, and a nice backflip out, so he's going to be able to capitalize on that for run number 2, but he knows that he has the other stuff totally linked up.
Yeah, it's a confidence builder no matter what. Whatever that score is going to be for him, it's a full pull. Just to get in the podium position, he's got to beat a 65.4 for third, a 73.6 for the number 2 spot, or a 94.2 for that top spot. So it's about getting into a podium position out here right now. And the judges definitely taking their time. They want to find the correct spot for him. Where does he go in the mix? So Yannick waiting. A little bit of wind kicking up in the booth out here. So not only do you have strategy, you also got to play with the elements too as well when you're out there. What tricks do I go? And look, you saw how big that back he was and how high he was up.
You know, that's the plagued word that I'm never...
And a 61.4. 61.4. Thought it might have been better than that, but that puts him in 4. What do I know? Just an announcer here, and he's in 4th spot. Behind Logan Pete in 3rd.
You know, we're talking about that plagued word. I'm never actually allowed to mention win, but I guess you can.
Oh, yeah, I did say that, didn't I? So let's take a look at your leaderboard so far. Well, there you go. Logan Pete in 3rd, 65.4. Umath Limon in that 2nd spot, a 73.6, and Brett Reeder with a 94.2. It'll be interesting to see if Brett Reeder still has the lead when he comes up for his 2nd run, what he does in that 2nd run.
You know, that's just a completely different level, 20-point different. How are you going to be able to compete up into that 94? That's what those next riders are thinking.
Simon Godzik going to be coming up for you next from Poland, 22 years old.
But a rider who has a lot of big banger tricks. Him and his brother, both Red Bull athletes, his brother on the BMX side. So you can see that in his riding ability, he has some massive dirt jump tricks. But the nice thing is he's able to translate it over to the slope style and big mountain scene.
And he's also 5th in the Diamond Series standings right now, so he's in a good spot. A good position finish here would be great for him. Here we go, Simon Godzik now.
So Simon Gosiak, Polish rider, dropping in, dumping the 360 off of the drop. Truck driver off the giant up log. And a big tail whip over the next step-up feature, flying around that SRAM curved wall ride. Huge tsunami Superman, and into a double grab. These are those big tricks I'm talking about. One of the only riders I've ever been able to see do a double grab that extended. Such a difficult trick on a mountain bike to do. It translates from motocross, where the riders are able to grab both seats and do a Superman, able to do it. Oh, and a big backflip up, not getting the amplitude needed, hitting his front wheel on the way up. Oh, big disappointment for Gosiak.
Gosiak not happy with that one. Crowd, let him hear you. Put your hands together for him. He's got another opportunity to put one in the books. So an amazing day here, Whistler, day number 9. They got to send the ladder up to get him off that cabin right there. That is some serious altitude right there. And not able to put that together, so he'll have another shot at it.
Yeah, but regardless of not being able to get up on that cabin and finish his jump, I really want to take a look at that big old 4-pack we have on course, where he just stomped some of the sickest tricks we've seen.
Just a crap load of amplitude in that run.
So check this. This first one is the Tsunami Superman, extending the bike out vertically, and then as well this double grab. Look at the extension on the feet, fully extended arms and legs. The difficulty in this trick on a mountain bike is that the bike weighs only about 25 pounds. The handlebars spin all over the place when you do that. So unlike a motocross bike that's 300 pounds, it's not that easy to go and slam all your hands off the bike, grab the seat, pull it right back into you without the bars spinning around.
All right, well, the score, 37.6 is going to be the score for Gosiak right there. So 37.6 for him, looking to improve on that, trying to get up there. Brett Reeder, the current leader, just had a look at what he's all about, and I'll tell you what, he is in the driver's seat big time. Logan Pete, he's got that 3rd spot, 65.4. Umath Limon in that 2nd spot, 73.6. 94.2, your leader, Brett Reeder, and we'll be back with more of the first runs. It's your Red Bull Joyride. Once again, a packed house out here in Whistler. Crankworx day number 9, and your Red Bull Joyride in full effect right now for you. And there you go, Pete in 3rd, the one in 2nd, Reader in the number 1 spot. But I'll tell you what, just to get on the podium is such an amazing task to trying to accomplish. And it's only been done a few different times. You got a guy like this, Cam Zink now. He's a member of the Two-Timer Club. No, that's not being unfaithful. Two-Timer Club is about how many times he has won it. And there's only been 3 guys who have ever win it twice. Talking about Paul Bass in 04 and 05. And you got to bring in Cam Zink to that mix too as well. He's got 2 wins on the Joyride, and Brandon Semenuk also with 2 wins. So Cam Zink can do it. He's already proven it. And he's ready to go for you right now. And I know I got some Cam Zink fans in the house, and I want to hear you put your hands together for his first run for Cam Zink.
Oh, big pop backflip off that first drop. We're always so nervous. We don't know what's going to come out of the sleeves of Cam Zink, but just not able to get the trick. You see the head pop up there. He was bummed out. He couldn't get that, but huge backflip Superman. Oh, slipping the pedals, but going down easy. Easy, I say, from that one, because it could go very wrong on a backflip Superman seat crab. One of the only guys in the game doing that trick, and he's doing it very, very well. Unfortunately, Cam Zink's going to have to rack up for run 2.
And it's been, you know, been a good year for him too. I mean, he unlaid his Alp in speed and style. Cam Zink on the 4th of July came out and took the win with Greg Watts becoming in 2nd place. Well, let's take a look at him right now. He's going to finish things off. Cam Zink, first run. He's going to have some work cut out for him on a 2nd run.
You know, you guys might think, why are we always so hyped on Cam Zink? Well, Cam Zink is one of the innovators in our sport, one of the most well-known riders. Have you ever seen a big backflip off a 50-foot drop on Sportsnet? I think you have. If you're not knowing what I'm talking about, it's probably because you don't know mountain biking too well. Well, this is one of the best guys, the biggest legends in the entire industry, and he's always out there having a blast. Such a fun guy to come out and see at every single contest. One of the guys who is just so humble, so nice and caring, and his family is just in front of us, just cheering him on.
Well, let's see Cam Zink here starting it off.
A really unique way of actually doing that. Had a big pop, manualed all the way onto the end of the lip and popped up almost into a big jump, and looked like he actually had an over-rotation on that backflip Superman sea crab.
Well, obviously, this is not going to be the score that Cam Zink's looking for, a 30.4. So Cam Zink will go back up top. He's got a 2nd run. He knows what to do. He's been in the position before. He's won it twice. Only 3 people have done it. He's just trying to at least crack a podium position. And right now, just to get into a podium position, 65.4. And here is the new blood. I've been hyped on his riding game. Nikolai Rogatkin. He is ready to go. He come fresh off a podium in Colorado, trying to get him there. Nikolai Rogatkin, he's 4th in the Diamond Series standings, and here he goes for his first run. Give it up for Nikolai Rogatkin.
Well, you've been really hyped on Nikolai. I think the entire mountain bike community has been hyped on Nikolai. Why? Because of big tricks. He has some of the biggest stuff and innovative stuff coming from a BMX background. Backflip double whip! On the step up, spinning that bike 2 times around. Lawn dart front flip, one of the signature tricks coming on Nikolai Rogatkin. Huge cash roll! This is what it's gonna take to get up into that 90 position. Nikolai Rogatkin double whip off of the Red Bull cannon into the hips, tuck no-hander, coming up into the Joyride cabin. What does Nikolai have? Big old backflip up top of the cannon. Tail whip down.
No! Oh, and he knows that was an amazing run he was putting in right there. Didn't go his way, but Whistler, let him hear you right now. Put your hands together for Nikolai Rogatkin, the new blood. That was a banger, Ryan Meyer.
Man, we have seen Nikolai Rogatkin just pop up onto the slope style scene the last couple years, but especially this one, blasted to the blasted into the contest scene with tricks like that cash roll, the lawn dart front flip, even triple tail whips. He's been in some of the highest profile contests and even winning them this year. So this is why we are so hyped on the kid, and we're expecting him to do very well for that 2nd run.
Well, he wants to hear you right now. He's going to finish off this run. Put your hands together Let's do this for Nikolai Rogatkin. Bring him on in.
No, actually, one of the riders who has been getting a lot of flack because he doesn't wear a visor on his helmet. Well, it doesn't matter. He does that for a reason, so that he's able to do those cash rolls and those lawn dart flips. He said it's a visibility issue, and he likes riding it that way. I think it's the new thing that's going to catch on these days.
Look at that.
Big backflip, double tail whip, starting it off. That's so risky, so high up in the run. And the lawn dart front flip, first big double there in the 4-pack, and right into the cash roll. That's a massive jump, 25-foot gap to be able to do that cash roll trick. It's almost like going a front flip into a backflip 360.
Well, here you go. This is where it went wrong for him right here. Tries to get those feet on the pedal, just kind of washes out to the side right there. And let's stand it down with Brad Ewan, standing by with Nikolai. Brad.
Oh, man, what a run. You had to be stoked with the top section of that course.
I was so stoked, yeah. Unbelievable vibe, unbelievable noise from the crowd, and came on top of the cabin, whipped off, got blown a little by the wind, but, you know, we're up on the mountain, we're riding, we're having fun. It happens, you know, hopefully I'll get it next time.
So what do you think of Whistler, British Columbia, bro?
Whistler is one of the greatest places that I've been. I mean, always the best times here, and just don't want to leave, really.
Welcome, my friend. You're here. Let's do run 2.
Well, I'll tell you what, I've been hyped on him. I predicted him to do very well in this competition. If he could put that full pull together on that run, he could get up there and challenge Brett Reeder for that top spot or even get into a podium position. Let's take a look at the leaderboard so far. This is how it's stacking up. Still no changes in your top 3. Logan Pete, a 65.4 in third. Till Motley One in that second spot, a 73.6 for him. And your current leader, Brett Reeder, with a 94.2. We'll be back with more of the first runs. Red Bull Joyride right after this. Big old packed house out here in Whistler. Thank you so much for showing up like you guys do every single year for your Red Bull Joyride. And not to disappoint, it is off the hook out here. Logan Pete, number 3 spot, 65.4. Limon in that second spot, a 73.6. And Brett Reeder doing it in a big way with that huge score of a 94.2. Kelly McGarry up for you next from New Zealand. Amazing year for Kelly last year, right?
Wow, have you ever seen that big backflip over that road?
That's absolutely massive.
Massive canyon gap out of Kelly McGarry. And hey, guess what? He won People's Choice Award as well at Rampage. It's nearly inches away from taking the title there as well. So a rider who's been able to step up onto the top of the podium for a lot of these very high profile contests. And as well, he's competing in the biggest slope style event. He's competed in the biggest big mountain events, and a very versatile rider.
And him and Claw, of course, the same age, 32 years young. These two guys. And that shows you just how tough they are to be able to compete at this high level at their age. Here we go. Kelly McGarry coming in on his first run. Put your hands together for Kelly McGarry.
Kelly, nice 360, almost a nollie 360 off that first shot. Bar spin over the giant up box. 360ing over top at the step up, flying around this SRAM wall and into a backflip, tuck no hander over the first jump. Front flip from Kelly, oh! And missing the snap on that front flip and not getting the full rotation off that Red Bull ramp.
And he is okay, he is up, and he needs to hear you right there. Let's give him a word of encouragement. Give it up for Kelly McGarry Whistler. Let's do this.
But we're gonna be able to check back and look at the previous tricks he was doing in that first run. He was killing it off the SRAM center with that big back flip tuck no-hander.
Yeah, it looks like he's just gonna make his way up back up top. See if we can take a look at the replays. Here comes Kelly right here.
So there was he was flying around that SRAM wall and into that big backflip tuck no-hander on the SRAM center and into the Red Bull ramp. Just didn't get that full snap on the front flip required to get that rear wheel around.
You really got to have that snap, don't you, Ryan, to really get that front flip around, don't you?
Yeah, that's a difficult thing. I think on some of the massive jumps you're able to, you know, just lay it out But yeah, you need that snap to get it around.
I like the combo, though, going from the back flip and then going to the front flip, mixing it up like that. Good stuff out of Kelly McGarry. Now we take our attention back up top. We haven't even really talked about this guy, and he's the guy who won it and laid us out. His first big win, and he's also your FMB Diamond Series ranking leader right now with that win. He got third back out here on the podium when he was 15 years old. Now he comes out. A lot of pressure on him right now to do things in a big way, but he's coming off a great big win, and he wants to hear every single one of you. From Canada, 18 years old from Morpheus. Let's hear it for Anthony Mazzeri.
You guys loved him when he was 15 years old out here blasting super high on those hip jumps. Tail whip off of the first drop, truck driver on the up box. Anthony Mazzeri's doing it big. Front flip, tuck, no hander. He gets it around, no bobble. And into the SRAM wall, huge flat spin invert. Clicking it super big style. Backflip bar spin over the Red Bull ramp. And coming up into the Red Bull cannon. Big whip from Anthony and into the hip jumps. Cork flip coming around on that Bud Light right hand hip. And into the cabin with a big backflip up top. Pedals so he has enough speed into that 360. You saw him nose around, just making it right nice and tight. Bud Light with the bar spin up and the bar out.
Anthony Mazzeri right there. A decent run out of Mazzeri. The winner, and Crankworx laid us out, and coming out here trying to crack a podium position, and your overall FMB Diamond Series leader right now.
So let's take a look at some highlights on that run. Anthony Mazzeri, I think he's got a boost of confidence coming off of that win in Les Deux Alpes. Front flip tuck no hander off that Bud Light step up. That's where he was really getting things going. And this is busting the big backflip onto the Joyride cabin. Lands really far up there, has to snag a pedal as quick as he can so he has enough speed to do that 360 and into the Bud Light whale tail as well. Has a nice smooth run into the finish line.
So the Fox Rider are waiting for that score to come in for him just to get on that podium. Once again, we keep talking about it. Logan Pete's in that third spot with a 65.4, a 73.6 for Thomas Lemoine in second, and a 94.2 for Brett Reeder in that top spot. And when you're the FMB Diamond Series leader, this is what you want to do. Just try to get up in the top. And an 82.4 into second place for Anthony Mazzeri. That's good stuff right there.
Mazzeri, dude, that was ridiculous. How are you doing, buddy?
Good, you know, just glad I made it to the bottom, healthy.
Absolutely, that one boost, man, I think NASA got you a blip on the radar, bro. Was that ridiculous, Whistler, or what? Dude, you're sitting second right now, you got one more run. You gonna throw it down or what?
Yeah, you know, I just wanted to get this run in. It's like a little safety run, and maybe throw some more things in for the second run.
Give her, buddy. Anthony Mazzeri, ladies and gentlemen, right here, right now.
A safety run, Ryan Meyer. That's a safety run. Oh, man, where have we come? I'll tell you what, if that's a safety run, I'm Brad Ewan's cousin. Lemoine in that third spot, 73.6. Logan Pete bumped off the podium right now. Mazzeri in second. And then you got Reeder in 94.2. But Mazzeri, the thing is, Mazzeri in second, that's good because he's already got a first place for the Diamond Series ranking. So a second place puts him up in the top mix no matter how it finishes. And then there's this guy, a former champion, Thomas Genon. Not last year, but the year before, took that big win. And he looks focused. He looks like he's having fun. And Ryan Meyer, I think this was the guy you picked to do very well out here today.
Tommy G, I mean, he moved himself from Belgium to the south of France. He's been riding with the whole French crew there, Louis Rabot, Yannick Ranieri, and the whole mix of them. And it looks like he's really improved and worked on his technical ability. 360 off the first drop for Tommy G. Oh, double tail whip off of the giant up box. 3-0, over rotating at 360. Looks a little uncharacteristic for Tommy. Looks like he was maybe going for something else and pulling out after the SRAM wall. Upset for Thomas Genon.
Well, now we know that he's been in the position before. You know that Tommy G 2 years ago made a name for himself. He came out here, and not a lot of people knew a lot about him out here in Whistler, but he came out a couple years ago and took a win, and that basically changed his life for sure. Well, Red Bull picked up the sponsorship of him, and then here he is competing in a big way. Let's take a look, possibly get a look at this double tail whip of
I think
Tommy G.
this is something you can be expecting for the rest of his run. Just jam-packed things that we have not expected. Double tail whip off of that giant up box, really big trick, and we're not going to see many riders doing that, and that's why he's sitting so low down on this leaderboard already. I mean, he's the second last rider to drop. That means he is so highly ranked in the FNB that he's just killing it this year.
Well, Tommy G, let's take a look at our leaderboard here so far, show you how it's stacking up. I'll tell you what, Brett Reeder has been there for about a year, but right now, Thomas Limon in that third spot, the 73.6. Mazzeri coming out with an 82.4, and Brett Reeder's 94.2. But I still bring it up, Anthony Mazzeri, he's your overall FNB Diamond points leader, and that's 1,000 points for that win in Late Is Out. So if he could end up in second place and get that, he would still remain in the lead for your FNB Diamond stops right now. And there's Reeder looking on right now. That's all he could do. His fellow teammate is getting ready to drop in next. The man, what could you say about him? I'll tell you what you can say about him. Ryan Meyer, he has been on the podium 5 times. 5 times in Red Bull Joyride history, he has been up there in the podium. And not only that, he's won it twice. Only 3 guys ever to win it twice. And then also you got to remember, nobody in the history of the 11 years of Crankworx has ever won it 3 times. I talked to him earlier today. He told me this is the best Red Bull Joyride course in the history of the Joyride, and he's expected to do some big things. And here he comes right now. He's out of Squamish, doing it for Trek C3 Project, 23 years old, Brandon Semenuk.
So B, you know B up here. Big backflip, 1-foot can, stepping up the flat drop tricks, 360 tuck, no hander off the up box, backflip double whip. Oh, it's getting big around the SRAM wall, into the SRAM center with a backflip bar spin. Cork 720.
Wow.
This run is shaping up. Really nice opposite whip for Brandon. And into a regular whip over that hip transfer. Up into the Joyride cabin, backflip up. Oh! Bear claw 1-foot push off into that 360. Tuck no hander in. Cork 720 off the step down.
Are you kidding me? Brandon Semenuk on his first run. Booyah!
Can you believe that? The 2 riders that have had the craziest runs we've seen today just went down and had a big hug for each other. So much camaraderie in this sport as well.
Tell you what, Ryan. Normally we'll do a highlight and we'll check 1 or 2, but can we look at this entire run? Here we go.
Oh, we can definitely look at it all. Backflip on the flat drop, adding a 1-foot can. 360 tuck no hander, and check it. Backflip double tail whip, not even going for the regular tail whip, throwing a backflip in there. Then we're going to, well, this was almost the easiest part of his run, backflip bar spin into a Cork 720. Such massive jumps to do this over. Coming up into the cannon feature. I mean, this rider has everything linked up, the opposite tricks. And let's just talk about this last jump feature, the Bud Light Whale Tail. Have you ever seen a Cork 720 off of a step down before?
No, I have not.
Have you ever seen that in a contest? He comes out here for his first run and tosses a Cork 720 off the big Bud Light Whale Tail step down feature and just stomps it like he did it in his sleep.
Well, what does the survey say? What do the judges say? There's Brett Reeder right there, your current leader. He's got the 94.2, waiting for the score to come in. 96.8! No way! Brandon Semenuk on his first run, taking the lead over Brett Reeder, his teammate, a 96.8. Where you at, Whistler? Let's hear it for Semenuk!
Man, oh man, Brandon Semenuk, Whistler, do you want to see these second runs start off?
I'm almost speechless at this point, Myers. What the heck? Well, let's take a look at the leaderboard right now. We got some flip-flop and all kinds of stuff going on out here, but I'll tell you right there, that was a near perfect score at 96.8. I'm not sure if that's the largest one in the history, but it's got to be pretty damn close. Well, there you go. How about those Maple Leafs Canadian flags, 3-2-1. Missouri, an 82-4 in third. Brett Reeder in the second spot with a 94-2. And Brandon Semenuk with the unthinkable 96.8. Let's hear it for all the riders out here today. More coming up. Run number 2, Red Bull Joyride, coming at you right after this. All right, Whistler, I'm gonna need you guys to just quiet up for a second because I gotta talk to you here, Whistler. We promised you at the start of the show that there was gonna be some big revelations, all right? We talked about the course coming up for Rampage, yeah. We're also gonna unveil the winner out here. We'll get to that too. But something very special, brand new, the Crankworx Revelation number 3. Take a look at this.
We've been welcoming people here for generations. Travelers who disregard the tyranny of distance. Explorers looking for something spectacular. New Zealand, North Island, Rotorua. They come for the earth, the dirt. When you ride it, you'll know. And now our mountain biking paradise welcomes mountain biking's defining celebration. Crankworx Whistler, Crankworx Ladies Alp, Crankworx Rotorua. World-class riding.
Wow, huge news for the mountain biking community, and now I am joined by 2 very special guests. I have Tak Mutu, the event director of the new Crankworx Rotorua. What can the athletes expect when they go to New Zealand?
Well, I tell you what, we're about to show the world how we do it down under, man. It's going to be good times. We've got our trail crews for the next 6 months, building our tracks, turning that Rotorua dirt into trail gold. I'm so looking forward to it. I tell you, one of the biggest things too is our culture, man, our people. We're going to love having everybody down there. You know, we're a humble culture, admittedly, and one of the biggest things about us is the spirit of our culture, and I hope you all get to experience that really, really soon. We've got a little saying that we have in our culture. It goes like this: he aha te mea nui o te ao, he tangata, he tangata, he tangata. And what does that mean? That means what is the most important thing in the world? The people, the people, the people.
Well, we cannot wait to head to New Zealand. And now I have Darren Kinnaird. Woo, this is some big news. He is the general manager of Crankworx. How amazing is this for the Global Series?
It's a game changer. You know, for Crankworx, we're now going to have a Crankworx downhill series with 4 races, live coverage, big prize money. We're going to have a pump track challenge series. We're going to have a series of dual speed and style events. And the big one is we're going to now have a Crankworx Triple Crown of slopestyle for all of the best athletes in the world to come compete at a new stop on the Crankworx World Tour.
Like I said, we cannot wait to head to New Zealand. Some big news we just revealed here at Crankworx Whistler, but we still have some big news yet to be revealed, and that will be who will take the crown of Red Bull Joyride champion, guys.
Thank you so much. Big news. And Crankworx heading to New Zealand. Stoked on that one. Okay, it's time for a Red Bull Joyride panel. Got the boys back up in the booth. Talked to him earlier. And I'll tell you, Aaron Chase, man, I like your call. You said Semenuk. You're looking like a damn genius right now. What we're going into that call? I mean, you know Semenuk, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, I didn't get lucky with that call. Semenuk's a crowd favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole Whistler crowd was holding their breath the whole way down the hill. I got to just say, I'm really impressed with how everybody's riding, and I just can't wait for the second round.
All right, so T-Mac, your call was Reeder. When Reeder put up that, what was that, the 94.2 that he put up, did you think that score could even be beat, or do you think that that's it, he's going to win?
Man, he sure set the bar high, and this is nothing short of what we were expecting. Pretty much a Reeder Seminuk show. They both train the hardest. They're both kind of elusive and secretive with their training, and Brandon's got to be one of the most exciting people to ever watch a bike. Nobody ever knows what he's going to do. Everything he practices, he keeps a secret. No one knew he had flat drop combos, but kind of expected it. Kid's insane. Brett's insane. A couple other people I'd like to see make their runs, but so far a great show.
All right, and then Ryan Meyer, you picked Jeannot. Now, I know he can do it, but what is he going to have to do to get on the podium?
Well, he's definitely going to have to make it down the course. We already talked about this, though. It was going to be a Reeder and Seminuk show, we thought, but I'm picking Tommy G because I have faith in the kid and I have faith in the style and his ability to make it down. So run number 2, I think he's going to be able to show you guys what's up.
All right, now my call was Nikolai Rogatkin. I'll tell you what, he gets that run in top to bottom. That upper section was solid. That kid could get up in the 90s. What do you think, Aaron? Could he do it?
Yeah, did you see that? Lawn dart fronty on the first jump, cash roll, real nice and tight on the second jump, which is just a treat to watch. The kid sends it. You know he's got way more. I mean, I'll be rooting for him again.
Okay, my question to you, do you think that Seminuk is going to take the win, Aaron Chase?
Wow.
No,
he's sitting in first.
Is he going to win?
Dude, of course. He's sitting in first right now.
All right, T-Mac. Can Reeder come back and take the win away from Seminuk, or will Seminuk win?
Brett Reeder's going to win. That's a bold statement, but I think he can do it.
I like your style, man. Brian Meyer, who's going to win this thing?
The underdogs. I like rooting for the underdogs, but these two are pretty much the top ones in a betting pool right now. Reeder, you know, I think you have it, man. Stay focused, really stay focused. You know you can do the tricks that we were talking about this morning, so just get it done, boy.
All right, well, you heard the words from my partner in crime, Ryan Meyer. Well, it is all coming up for you. The second and final runs coming up at Red Bull Joyride, day 9 here at Crankworx. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere right after this. And there you go, Picturesque Whistler here, day number 9, Crankworx. What a great day. First runs in the books for your Red Bull Joyride. And I'll tell you what a competition we are having indeed. Ryan Meyer, Brad J with the call on 3-2-1 Canada. Anthony Mazzari, 82.4 in third. Brett Reeder in second, 94.2 in second spot. And Brandon Seminuk, 96.8. Do you think we can take a look at that run again of Seminuk?
I think we should be able to take a look. Whistler, you want to see this one again?
Oh, yeah. Well, take a look at this. Your attention, please. Let's take a look at Brandon Seminuk once again on that leading run here.
Let's just talk about how difficult this event must be for Brandon. I mean, you've heard me talk about the tricks and everything, so let's just go into a mental game. A lot of these riders are having so many different things in their mind versus just are they able to do these tricks down the course. That isn't really the difficult part anymore. It's who can keep them concentrated while they're going down here. It's such a mental game for this rider. As we've seen in previous years, he's had such difficulties even on simple tricks he knows he's able to do off the final jump after everything's gone through, and then things just blow up, and that's maybe letting the stress and the pressure get to you. But Brandon Seminuk looks like he's chilled out over the offseason, and he's definitely on fire right now. We haven't seen him in a lot of contests at all throughout the entire year, and this is something that we really like to see. He just comes out here and impresses us with something we had absolutely no expectations of.
You know, and the thing is, I've spent some time with him in the last few days out here, just talking to him. And just talking with him, he just seems different. He seems like he's happy. He doesn't seem like he's being pulled in too many positions. He seems like he's really focused and just having fun riding his bike, and I think that's the key here.
I think that is the key. I really agree with you on that, Brad.
All right, I think it's time to check in with the man, Brad Ewan. Let's send it down to the big boy. Brad Ewan, what's happening, my man?
Oh my God, Brad J, that was the most intense round 1 of competition I've ever seen in my life. Mazzari, Reeder, Seminuk. Who's it gonna be? It's all about the podium. Whistler, are you ready? Oh, because it hasn't even started. Round 2 coming up next. Stick around.
All right, I want to see if you guys are fired up, Whistler. On the count of 3, I want you guys to go absolutely crazy and hold it for 40 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Whistler, you ready for run 2? Ryan, it is a sea of people from the spot down here in Skiers Plaza all the way up top. But here's the difference from run number 1 to run number 2, Mr. Ryan Meyer. We re-rack them and do that in the order of how they finish on their runs. How does that play into effect?
I know, some of you are looking up at the screen, seeing Tommy G and saying, why? We just saw him come down so soon. Well, unfortunately, Tommy had a run where he crashed on, and this means he has to have the pressure and dropping in first right now.
Well, here he goes. He's a past Crankworx winner. He did it 2 years ago. Coming in next, doing it for Red Bull. Let's hear it for Tommy G, Thomas Jedon.
So the Belgian rider, he's won here before. Is he going to be able to get the full run in? Double whip off of that up box. Oh, 360 whip to 360 bar to whip and goes down on it. I think he's more bummed out than anything. Oh, such a big combination trick that the Belgian rider was trying to get for this crowd here in Whistler. Looks like he's running back up on the landing. Do you want to see him finish his run, Whistler?
Of course they do. You can see the tweets coming in. Hashtag at Crankworx, hashtag RB Joyride. Crankworx in New Zealand, very cool. That's from Nar Bike Park in the UK.
There we go. Thomas is showing off a lot of his big dirt riding ability. Big old nice 360. He's having fun up here, dumping another one off of the cannon.
Paul Bass, I'm still saying Brett for the win. See that, Paul Bass, a 2-time winner. He's agreeing with T-Mac right there.
2-time winner, hey? Yeah, Paul Bass, we know you're in the crowd watching us. So thanks for coming out. This is Whistler, man. It's like the mecca of every sport. I've seen even like my absolute idol, Travis Pastrana. He's been competing in all the events out here.
Yeah.
Like, this is just blowing up. Whistler is the place to be right now.
Well, tough break for Thomas Jedon, but I'll tell you what, he is a very talented bike rider because that man took the big win 2 years ago, and that is not a fluke when you take a win at such a big competition like this. So 27.6, and that's going to wrap up his day. Give it up one more time for Thomas Jedon, a past winner out here at Red Bull Joyride. So switching things up for Jedon, not able to get in there. Now we're going to take our attention back up top for this man, Kelly McGarry. And you always see the man with a smile on his face. This time he's looking a little serious here. Kelly McGarry, 23.8, had the fall, run number 1. Looking to try and get up in a podium position right now. Here we go, drop it in for you next. He's from New Zealand, the next stop of Crankworx. Put your hands together for Kelly McGarry.
Like we were saying, you've seen him a lot. He had the biggest backflip in a contest over that canyon gap at Rampage. And as well, he's doing good on the slopestyle scene here. A nice 360 off of that step up. Kelly going for that big backflip, tuck no hander, gets it clean. And on the Red Bull jump, the front flip, he lands it. Stomps that one. And coming up into the Red Bull cannon, Kelly McGarry, tuck no hander. Popping up into the Bud Light hip. Nice backflip from the Kiwi. And into the big Joyride cabin. 360 off for Kelly McGarry. Coming around the toilet bowl here and into the Bud Light whale tail. Big backflip from Kelly McGarry.
All right, Kelly McGarry finishing a run number 2. Taking a look at the replays of Kelly right here. Look at the fronty, so smooth. He got the snap there.
And that's where he all it all went wrong for his first run where he wasn't able to get the rotation on that front flip. But I think he's going to bump up his score significantly with his second run as he was able to get everything on lock.
And there's that smile, that Kelly McGarry smile, and going to his home country for the next Crankworx stop. I'm sure Kelly's pretty pumped about that, going to New Zealand. Aren't you, Kelly? Happy about that one, aren't you, man? Heck yeah. So the top three right now, Missouri 82.4 in third, Reeder in second with a 94.2. Ain't that a bitch? 94.2 only gets you second place out here today. The 96.8 for Semenuk in the top spot. So what does it mean for Kelly McGarry right there? Where is he going to end up? Score coming in, and that's going to be a 56.5, so 8th place right there. And one more time, let's hear it for the legend that is Kelly McGarry. Such a rad dude. And if you ever stand next to him, he is one tall dude as well. He might even be like 8 feet tall. I'm not sure. Well, maybe he's not that tall, Ryan.
I think when his hair is hanging down, when he's doing those backflips, he might be 8 feet tall.
Well, now, let's take it up top. Simon Pages now 27.4, and this dude can score. This dude can put some points in. He can rack them up. He just needs, like Ryan keeps saying, you got to be clean from top to bottom, and that's what Pages is going to need to do right here. His second and final run. Here he comes. Drop it in next from France, Simon Pages.
First time in Canada, the first time to Whistler, BC. And he made himself into Crankworx final because of an alternate position. So big ups to the kid. He hasn't had as much practice as the other riders, but he's stepping it up with tricks like that 360 whip on the Bud Light step up. Coming around that nice SRAM wall into a solid big backflip, bar spin into a flip whip, stunts it clean. And into the cannon feature here. Oh, just missing the tuck no hander out into the Bud Light hip right side there. Now this rider, as I was saying, he wasn't sure if he was even going to make it into this contest last night, but seeing as a couple riders dropped out due to injuries, he was able to get the call up and play with the big boys. Now he's finishing off run 2 in front of you boys. Big old backflip for the Whistler crowd here.
Yeah, Pages right there. And that must be just an insane situation, Ryan, where you don't even know you're going to be competing at all, and then all of a sudden you get the phone call. That's going to make your heart skip a beat or two, right?
I think so, especially when you're only at the ripe age of 18 years old.
Oh, man. Take a look
at
that
was just coming out of the backflip bar spin into that huge backflip tail whip. Perfect execution, not a tag at all. I've seen a couple riders have tags into that. No trick into the whale tail, but a really nice backflip out of the Bud Light whale tail, and definite improvement from his run 1.
So Pages waiting for the score to come in for him. Where does he get in there? Does he get in the top 10? Yes, he does. 10th place, 49.4. Not bad for someone who didn't even know he was competing yesterday, had no idea he was in the mix, and here he is competing today at the biggest mountain bike event in the entire world here for your Red Bull Joyride. So there you go right there. That's how it's stacking up. 5, Logan Pete in 5th, Tomat Limon in the 4th spot, Missouri in 3rd, Reeder in 2nd, Semenuk in the number 1 spot. And you look at that, 4 out of the top 5 guys, all Canadians. Just shows you how strong all these Canadian free riders are for sure. So our next rider, time to get him up there. And I think we're going to be looking at, our next one's going to be Gulovich, I'm pretty sure, here as we go back up top.
Thomas Zeta. I don't think you're on it too well, Brad.
I was trying to trick you there. Thomas Zeta.
Thomas Zeta out of the Czech Republic, up here with his girl as well, cheering him on. A little bit of family while you cross over the pond is nice, isn't it?
Here comes Zeta right now. This is going to be second and final run. Last chance to crack the top 3 for Thomas Zeta.
Zeta, like we were saying earlier, he has a lot of combination tricks. 360 X up off of the first drop. 360 invert off of the giant up box. Big backflip tail whip, and he cleans it on that step up feature. Flying around the SRAM curved wall ride into the SRAM big sender, no foot can. Red Bull kicker with a big tail whip. I believe he was maybe wanting to go for a combination trick because that's stuff that he loves to do. Tail whip to bar spin to tail whip. That's a signature move from this rider. That's where it all went wrong in first run. He stomps that tail whip, not going too fast. Bar spin up top of the cabin. 360ing off and coming into this beautiful toilet bowl. Bar spin into the toilet bowl. The only rider we've seen trick into that feature today. Bar spin up top into the whale tail. And a nice solid 360 out.
And coming down into the end for Skiz Plaza right there. One more time, let's hear it for Zyda, their second and final run for him. That's what you want to do. You want to be clean top to bottom is what you want to do. And if you're looking at it right now, 82.4, the final podium position right there. That's Missouri. He's in third with an 82.4.
So we're gonna check out some unique stuff. This is coming into the toilet bowl.
That's what you're talking about.
He did a bar spin into this feature. Most riders are just skipping over that. It's a very high speed and you cannot mess it up so that you have enough speed making it into this last Bud Light whale tail. Thomas Zyda is the first person we've seen do a trick in there. I think the judges are gonna like that one.
All right, 82.4. That's the score you got to beat to get into a podium position. That'll get you up in the top 3. I don't think that's going to challenge the top 2 spots of Reeder and Semenuk. But there you go. You see the 82.4 right there. Anthony Missouri in that spot. He's also the #1 leader in the FMB Diamond Series rankings right now. So the better Missouri finishes, the better it's going to be for him. 8th place, 59.6 for Zyda. And he'll crack into the top 10, and he'll get himself in 8th. Well, Crankworx.com, we've been pretty much putting up polls every single day. And the poll today, we'll be putting that up there for you here, showing you our Crankworx poll here. Take a look at this one right here, Crankworx poll. What does the future of mountain bike slopestyle have in store? Ryan Meyer.
I guess we're just going to have to let New Zealand decide for us.
More technical riding, bigger, burlier courses. Strategy will rise to the top. More of the same. It's always awesome as it is. You can vote. Go to Crankworx.com and vote. What would you pick, Ryan?
I don't know. You know, I'm picking between more of the same. It's always awesome and bigger, burlier courses. How can we mix that together? Because I love slopestyle, but I love the big stuff as well.
I thought you were just supposed to pick one, man. You're not allowed to get 2.
Too indecisive.
Oh, you're Ryan Meyer. You can pick 2.
Where are we going for dinner tonight?
I don't know. We'll figure that one out. We'll go to 2 places. All right, let's take our Tetcha back up top. The Claw now. Stacked and racked, the Claw putting on his goggles, and he is ready to go. 30 on the first run. Had trouble on the first run, down there in that 17th spot. You know he can get up there. He's been on a podium before here. Here we go, dropping in for his second and final run. Where are my Claw fans at? It's Darren Bearclaw.
You know, he isn't a stranger, actually, to slopestyle, yet he hasn't been able to snag a win here at Crankworx. Can he do it? Indian Air off the up box. 360 weapon, putting a foot down, still getting the pedals in. Let's see if he can have enough speed for this SRAM sender. Oh, and not getting the trick in there for Darren. Going for Superman to know if it can, bringing it back to about 2006. Indian Air off of the cannon, busting a nice tuck no-hander over top of the transfer hips. Into the cabin. Oh, and missing the whip up for Darren. Big unfortunate mistake there. Wasn't able to get that kick and the rotation around. Now, Darren was actually one of the first riders we saw doing tricks like that. 360s off drops.
Yeah.
He was one of the innovators of that. I remember when he came into our sport, just kind of this bum BMX dude, shows up to Rampage, does like a 3-ring guard, hasn't even heard of what a chain guide is, starts doing Superman C-crabs off drops, built lips on top there. Major, major innovator in our entire sport, and we owe a lot of stuff to Darren Bearclaw.
And you know, I mean, the second year of Crankworx, he came out and almost took the win over Paul Bass, but ended up in that second spot. He really shocked people out there the second year of Crankworx in 2005, getting on that podium. And then that was it. He was a mainstay. He was here to stay after that second place finish in 2005. So the Claw, and with a smile on his face, just having fun and doing it for Red Bull. Get a little GoPro shot in there as well. Thank you, Claw, for everything you have put into this, into free riding. All right, let's check in with Brad Ewan standing by. Brad, what's going on, Big Brad?
Oh, Bear Claw, you said shoelace? What's up, dude?
Yeah, my shoelace got caught in my chain ring when I did that whip.
Oh, man. Hard luck, man.
No worries. It's just fun out here with all these boys. These boys are killing it. Let's see the rest of the show.
Darren Bear Claw, ladies and gentlemen. Boom.
Born entertainer since the little tyke age.
What an awesome dude for sure. Great fans on here supporting and just showing up. All right, let's take our attention back up top. There's the name, synonymous with Freeride. Cam Zink. Or, as his parents might call him, Cameron Zink. 30.4. A member of the two-timer club. He's won it twice. Only 3 people to do that. Paul Bass, Cam Zink, and Brandon Seminack. Here he comes. Second and final run. I want to hear everyone put your hands together and make some noise for Cam Zink.
Oh, stomps the backflip. Oh, no. Oh, Zink slipped the pedals on the landing there. Had a little bit of a case on that flat drop flip. And that's going to be it for Crankworx Whistler and Cam Zink. Oh, it's a major upset. I was really looking forward to this run. We know Zink always has an action-packed mindset on what's going to go down. And when I heard it, I was almost blown off my feet. I mean, maybe we're going to have to wait to New Zealand to see what's up.
But, Ryan, that's what it's about. It is about all of this. I mean, yes, you want to see everyone do good, but when sometimes your name is called, things just don't come together. Miss a beat, lose the rhythm. Unfortunately for Cam Zink, he's not able to get up there. But you know what? We've not seen the last of Cam Zink.
You know what's really cool? Zink has been in this sport for so long, and he's still keeping up with the big boys, the young guns. He's able to go out and learn new tricks like that. They say you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Well, Cam Zink is definitely not old because he's learning constantly.
Yeah, the evolution of Cam Zink. Remember, also got the win out there, speed and style out there, and laid his out. So a former racer, but really making a name for himself all the way through the ranks. And there you go. Logan Pete now in the 5th spot. Tomat Lemoine in that 4th spot. Anthony Missouri, just to get on the podium, got to beat an 82.4. Rhett Reeder got to beat a 94.2 for second, or the unthinkable at 96.8 for Brandon Seminack. We'll be back. More of the second runs. Red Bull Joyride. I'll tell you what, man, when you look all the way from Skiers Plaza all the way to the top of this hill, Ryan, this has got to be the biggest crowd in the history. I've been doing it for 10 years. You've been around here for every single year. What are you thinking, man?
Oh, it just keeps getting better and better every single year. And you know the cool thing is we have people from all ages and all different backgrounds. You don't have to be a mountain biker to come up here and enjoy this stuff. These guys are crazy. We know they are, but it's nice to see it coming out to the masses, and the crowd just keeps getting better and better every year.
And it just seems like weather cooperating. Yeah, we got a little bit of wind, but that also plays in, I think, a little bit of the strategy of the riders, too, and what they start thinking about it. Well, our next rider, think about this. I mean, he's been doing it for some time now, and he was just on the podium just 2 years ago, ended up in 3rd place. So you know he can creep up there and grab a 3rd spot, maybe a 2nd spot. And I'm talking about Cam McCall. Here he goes right now, ready to see if he can make it happen. Whistler. Put your hands together. Legend, free ride legend, that is Cam McCall.
He used to be a running joke that his number plate was 4 because constantly got 4th place in every contest. He broke that barrier and came 3rd here a couple years ago, and he's doing big time. 360 whip, coming off of a nice solid 360 on that first drop. Big backflip tail whip. Oh, going down hard. That is one of the hardest ways you go down from a case like that. Hopefully he's just winded and just trying to regain himself. We have great medics up here in Whistler. I know from very personal experience firsthand. And Cam just seems to be trying to regain his composure there on his hands and knees. Unfortunately, he just did not have enough speed, maybe popped too much on that backflip tail whip.
Yeah, visibly shaken up, but he is standing. Thumbs up. Give it up for Cam McCall. Come on now, everyone here in Whistler. Man, that means so much to mountain biking. Cam McCall Glad he is okay after that one. Let's take a look at the replay and see what happened there, Ryan.
So as you see, just popped in here and really popped super high on that backflip tail whip. Case blew off his pedals and blew right over the bar, landing super hard on that shoulder. I'm not exactly sure if it's the one he's had shoulder surgery on. Let's hope things are doing okay and not re-injured a past injury there.
Well, give him the time he needs to the 25.8. He's going to keep run number 1. But right now, we're not worried about any of the scores for Cam McCall. We're just making sure that he is okay. That is the #1 priority out here today. Second run's going on here, Red Bull Joyride. Thanks for joining us around the entire world. So many countries are watching us all over the world. I don't care what time it is. You make sure you got time for Red Bull Joyride.
The #1 event in slopestyle, the #1 event in mountain biking. You can see everything here, whether it be racing, whether it be jumping, whether it be Kidsworx. You can come out and have so much fun at this event. That's why I come back every single year.
Indeed, you are correct, sir. All right, I think it's time to check in with Jackie Montgomery and get a report from her. Let's send it downstairs to Jackie. Jackie?
Thanks, guys. Well, I was just up top with the athletes asking Brett Reeder what he has planned for this next run, and he is as cool as a cucumber right now, taking pictures with fans, autographing things for kids. I asked him, does he have what it takes to make up that 3-point difference between him and Brandon Semenek? All I said was yes, with a big smile. So let's see what he has in store for us in his second run, guys.
All right, thank you so much, Jackie. You know what? We can take a look at Brett Reeder's first run that put him up there in that situation. Brett Reeder, of course, in that second spot, the 94.2. Take a look at Brett Reeder, which got him in second here.
Well, look at that. That was something that we didn't see from any other rider. Truck driver to bar back. So 360 with a bar spin and the opposite rotation bar spin. Cork 720 like we saw from Brandon as well in his first run there. Bar up, truck driver off, opposite tail whip in, and a regular flip whip out. So that's where you're linking those opposite tricks right in with those regular things, and I really like seeing that.
You know what I really enjoyed is after he landed that, you could just see him bunny hopping all the way across to the Red Bull arch right there. He was so excited. He knew that was going to be a big score.
Yeah, can you imagine the adrenaline when we have 25,000 spectators cheering for you as you finish a run like that?
And Brett Reeder right now will settle for that second place behind his teammate on track. Brandon Semenek, the top dog right now. And I don't know, I mean, you and I were talking during the commercial break about, I don't think we've ever seen 3 scores in the 90s at a Red Bull Joyride. So this would be the first time if somebody was able, like a Mazzeri or a Nikolai Rogatkin was able to get in the 90s.
Yeah, and you know these riders actually are capable of it. It's just, can they pull it together for these second runs? You only have 2 shots at it, and this is it.
It's not like you got a real safety run in there. I mean, I know we heard Mazzeri say a safety run, but with a 2-run format, you pretty much got to go for it.
Well, you say Mazzeri said a safety run, and the others definitely went for it for broke, so who knows? Maybe we do see Mazzeri bump up into the 90s. But Louis Ribaud, that's what it's about right now. The French rider doing it for the Whistler crowd. First time out here in Canada as well. 360 off of that top Joyride drop, nice tail whip off of the giant up box. 360 Cali style table, inverted. As you loop around the SRAM while here, flying about 50K into that next jump.
Wow.
Big old backflip, tail whip, massive amplitude into the cork 360, dumping it around. Said it before, this is one of my favorite riders to watch. He has so much style, it flows out of him. And you know the funnest thing as well? He loves having a good time. Didn't we see him out last night? I think we did. You know, he's just all relaxed and taking this entire experience in as it should be. Solid backflip and then into a tail whip, round and around this toilet bowl. What does he have into the Bud Light whale tail? Louis Ribaud Whistler! Flat spin 360!
Oh, that's a filthy flat spin 3 right there to Louis Ribaud right at the end of his run. And he wants to hear, let's hear it for Louis Ribaud. He's pumped on that one right there.
Man, just so much style oozing out of this rider. He's one of my favorite guys to watch. It's nice to watch a rider who doesn't just go for the biggest and most innovative trick, but he works on his style. This is what we're gonna see in this replay here. Check the amplitude, let alone the technique and how confident he is grabbing the pedals on that flip whip. And look at this flat spin, inverted, twisting the bars out, getting a ton of style as he dips that nose around. And check this. Flat spin 360 off of the whale tail feature, finishing it off.
Love the flatty. Okay, he's trying to crack into the top three. 82.4 to get you on the podium right now. There you go, Missouri. 82.4 in third. Reeder 94.2 in second. Semenuk, your leader, with a 96.8. Rabot, what does he get? Can he make the podium? He's got to beat an 82.4 to get up on that podium. Was that enough? Paul Rack and the judges putting up a 79.4, just missing the podium in fourth place, but that's a solid showing. Let's hear it for Louis Rabot one more time. I mean, tell you what, Ryan Meyer, we were having brews with that guy last night, and now he comes out in fourth place. Calm, cool, collect. Now we take our attention back up top. Next competitor ready to come down this course, and I'm talking about Simon Godziak. Simon with a 37.6. Here we go. Next run coming up. Second and final run for Simon Godziak.
Simon Godziak has some of the sickest tricks out there. Like we saw in run number one, that double grab Superman. And let's see what's popping up here. 360 into a truck driver off the giant up box. Oh, backflip cliffhanger. Oh, and he just goes down. That's a massive trick.
You don't see that one. Backflip cliffhanger attempt. Let's hear it for Godziak one more time. Come on now.
Wow, and that was off the step up. Looked like he just didn't have enough amplitude to get that one fully around. I wonder what would have happened if he did it off of one of those 4-pack jumps. Didn't have that stepped up landing. But just big, big risk as well, doing it so high up in his run. I couldn't imagine that he had a lot bigger stuff as well, popping into the bottom. Simon Godziak, one of the riders who just rides constantly when he's back home. His big jumps in his backyard. His brother as well, professional BMXer, doing it for Red Bull. They just have a lot of fun flowing off of each other. This is how he's able to come out and bring us new, innovative tricks like that. Cliffhanger flip, haven't seen that for a long time.
That's something you just don't see every day. Stuart Kenny chimes in. Huge news about Crankworx 2015 there. Bring on the third slopestyle event in Rotorua. Nicely done. All I can say is, wow. Zach Lane talking about Brandon Semenuk's run.
Oh, and Godziak still trying to go for it. He wanted to put on a show for you, Whistler. Give it up for Simon Godziak.
Well, I like this one, Semenuk and Reeder battle. This is what competition is all about. Katie Holden chiming in with that one. So nicely done out of all the competitors. Make sure you're hashtagging while you're out there. RB Joyride, hashtag RB Joyride, and hashtag Crankworx as well. And thanks once again. Here we are in our second runs as a reset going on for you here. That's your Red Bull Joyride, day number 9 here at Crankworx. The sun's shining down, and this place is packed top to bottom for our second runs. All right, let's get back upstairs. We got Jeff Gulovich ready to go. Gully, the Loke dog out here.
What a bro, having so much fun always. And such a local up here. He's teaching kids how to ride. Always a fun spirit to have out. Born and raised in West Vancouver, making a living off mountain biking. Jeff Gulovich dropping in for run number 2, Whistler. Big old 360 for Gully off the first drop. Coming up into the giant up box. Cali style table and into a 360 off of the step up feature, flying around the SRAM curve wall and into the SRAM super booter. Big old whip from Jeff. Huge Superman. Nice to see some big tricks from Gully thrown out there. Into the cannon where his boys from Bicycle Rockers are tossing the horns. Nice Cali table over that cannon. Big backflip on the Red Bull hip. Coming up into the cabin. What's Gully got for us?
360 off the big cabin drop, 20 feet down, over top of that banister, around the toilet bowl, coming up into the last whale. Big old cork flip from Jeff.
Well, Jeff Gullovich right there finishing off his second run, and it's way too quiet. Whistler, put those hands together for Gully right there, the local boy out of North Van. Come on. A Crankworx Red Bull Joyride mainstay. Jeff Gullovich right there. Going to wait for that score to come in. Still, once again, going over the top three. Mazzari in that third spot with the 82.4. Reeder in that second spot with a 94.2. And Semenuk with the 96.8. So where is Gully? You can see Rebo now in that 4 spot. He bopped in there on his second run, so 79.4. So a 45.6. So one more time for Jeff Gullovich, 45.6. That's going to wrap up his day. Well, I'll tell you what, if you're looking to beat, I'll tell you the biggest run we've seen today, that would be Brandon Semenuk's 96.8. Let's take a look at it right here. Semenuk right here. Let's take a look at his run here that put him in that top spot with that 96.8.
Well, it's going to take, I guess, combination backflip flat drops. It's going to take combination 360s. It's going to take opposite tricks and double flip whips. It's going to take cork 720s mid-run. Backflips up, a step up.
Sounds easy.
Just not a regular 360, but clawed out. And cork 720s off the last jump. If you're able to do something different and still have that difficulty, maybe you're able to bust past him.
All right, well, there you go right there. This is how it's playing out. Anthony Mazzari in third, 82.4, 94.2. Reeder in second, Semenuk 96.8. Well, we'll be finishing up second and final runs coming up. It's your Red Bull Joyride. And earlier in our Red Bull Joyride preview show, we were all talking about, you know, Aaron Chase was saying Semenuk, T-Back was saying Reeder, Ryan, you were saying, you know, and there's one guy that I was talking about, Nikolai Rogatkin. The reason I was talking about Nikolai, he podiumed in Colorado. He is 4th in the overall Diamond Series. That means he got 4th out there and laid his up. So he's a guy that's been on the rise. A lot of people didn't know Nikolai Rogatkin last year. He came in. He's starting to turn some heads, and I'll tell you what, the way he was putting down that first run, if he puts down this run, we can see him in the 90s.
And we've seen this before at 2-6 tricks in Austria. This is a rider who did not make it down for first run, came back second run in a heat that was filled with 90s in top 5, and he was able to make it on top with runs like his.
There we go.
So let's see what's gonna pop out from Nikolai Rogatkin. Tail up off the first drop, slipping a pedal, but still getting a bar spin off of the... Oh, and into a backflip double tail whip off the step-up feature. Is he gonna put it together? Oh, the lawn dart front flip, and it tosses him off.
And you know what? I said it earlier. I'll say it again. It's one of those things. You miss a beat, you lose the rhythm. And unfortunately for Nikolai Rogatkin, today is not going to be his day. But you keep an eye on this kid because you're going to be seeing him up on the podium in the next few years. That is for sure. So one more time, give it up for Nikolai Rogatkin. Come on, Whistler.
The real unfortunate mistake there. Just a little bit under-rotated on that lawn dart flip. Let's just take a look back at the top part of his run, or no, we're just gonna watch Nikolai go down for the rest, up into that Red Bull cannon, double whip off of the Red Bull cannon. Busting out, he knows he has so many tricks he wanted to show for you guys. Big backflip up top. And he knows this isn't gonna count. He just wants to showcase his riding ability for you, Whistler. Making it down nice and safe, though, on the finish line jump.
You know, it just wasn't his day today, but his day will come, that is for sure. Good people of Whistler. One more time for Nikolai Rogatkin. Let's hear it for him right there. That's the future.
The look back here at that backflip double tail whip.
We saw Semenak do that, and I think he was like, okay, we got to do this as well if I want to pass him. Into the lawn dart flip. That's where it went wrong. Just a little under-rotated. It held that lawn dart, the Superman area thing, where you basically go head first to the very last point possible and snap that rotation. Held it a little bit too long and wasn't able to get the full snap on that coming around.
I'll go out on a limb right there. I will predict that Nikolai Rogakin will be on a podium at Red Bull Joyride at some point in the next couple years.
Oh, he definitely has the years. Yeah. He's not one who's coming in this sport old. He's definitely a young character, and being able to bust out tricks like that, there's no doubt in my mind he's going to be up there.
A good one there. Thank you, Ryan Meyer, on that. Now we go to our next guy. This looks like Carson Storch. Yes, indeed. Carson Storch put up a 60. It seems like a year ago that he dropped that 60 in there. He's in 8th place right now, so he's had so much time to think about what he is going to do. He saw what Reeder, he saw Missouri, he saw Semenak. Now it's his turn. Coming in for you next, let's hear it out of Bend, Oregon for Carson Storch.
Carson Storch, Bend, Oregon, as well, one of those riders who wasn't sure if he was going to make it into the heat this evening. Got a wild card call last night, and there he is, 360, bar spin, 360 whip up the step up, flying around the SRAM wall, into the SRAM center, going for a tuck no-hander to bar spin, and into the Red Bull jump. Big flip whip out of Carson Storch.
Keeping it going.
Flying around. Oh, did he get a mechanical flat tire on that flip whip, I think?
Yeah, you got it. There it is.
Looks like we'll check it out in the replay, but looks like he may have gotten a little sideways on the landing for that last flip whip off the Red Bull sender.
I think it was, he kind of cased that landing a little bit. That probably caused the mechanical right there for Carson Storch. So unfortunately, that's not going to be his day, but hey, you came in, you showed up, you dropped a 60. That's still pretty darn solid right there. Top 10, 8th place. Let's see if we can look at it and see exactly what happened right there. It looked like possibly that case maybe caused it. Here we go.
So we'll just take a close replay, check it out. Popped super high, looks like it was coming around really nice. Yeah, you're right, Brad. Cased that one and blew the tire immediately.
Yeah, and you know what, and those, when you talk about mechanicals that you can change, that's a mechanical situation that you don't case that landing, you're not going to have the problem if you land in the transition.
Yeah, that is true. Very, very unfortunate, though. Sometimes you have just a little bit of a headwind and it throws you off speed.
But you know what? Once again, you just got to look at it. He wasn't even in the competition. He comes out, and right now, he could finish in 8th place, top 10. That's so solid no matter what. Maybe, and now it is time for Yannick Grenari now. The Frenchman, 27 years old, for YT Industries to Red Bull, a 61.4. He's in 7th, so he's right above Carson Storch right there. And Yannick, I mean, he's got the amplitude. He's got the bag of tricks. Can he put it all together right now? Because this is his second and final run for Yannick Grenari.
Yannick sitting in 7th spot. As we said, this is amongst the world's best slope style riders. If you're a local boy coming out here from Vancouver and you haven't seen mountain biking before, you know that these are the world's best. 360 double tail up from Yannick Grenari. Coming around that SRAM wall, flat spin 360 X up, and into a big flip whip. Super clean. Blowing off. Still making the speed into the cannon. Tuck no-hander. It's not going to get deducted too many points for that slide out. It was not on a jump at all. Busting around the hip and flying into the front flip.
No!
He slips his handlebar.
Front flip off the cabin. Yannick Grenari, where are my Yannick fans? Let's hear it for Grenari. And improper style makes the bow. That is what I'm talking about, progression right there, Ryan Meyer.
Man, Yannick has a lot of tricks that he's definitely been working on. He had reconstructive knee surgery before, and he was really wanting to showcase his abilities out here. A lot of the times he's come out, he hasn't had too good a luck here. Unfortunately, the same story wraps up for 2014.
Yeah, the Fox rider, the Red Bull rider. Let's take a look at the replays right here for Yannick. I like what he was thinking here, man.
So check this flat spin 360 X up. Really signature trick from Yannick.
Huge.
The flip whip, perfect speed. flying up into this cabin. Was not expecting this at all. We haven't seen a rider do that. Front flip up the box.
Man.
Lands so hard, blows his hand off the handlebar, and that was it.
Where did that come from? No one expecting that one out of Yannick, and just come out and just say, oh, you want to see a little something, something? I got something for you. So 41, he's going to keep the 61-4. Let's hear it for Yannick Grenari. Come on now. Well, let's take a look at that leaderboard. Logan Pete now has been down to the 6th spot. Tomas Dubont in the 5th. Louis Ribault in the 4th. He is all said and done. Anthony Mazzeri coming up with a 2nd run. Brett Reeder coming up with a 2nd run. And Brandon Semenuk coming up with a 2nd run. So is it going to end up 1, 2, 3 like that? We'll find out. 2nd and final riders coming up right after this. Day number 9, Crankworx Whistler. The sun getting ready to start setting out here, but not on the competition because we still got 2nd runs for some serious heavy hitters for your Red Bull Joyride. Thanks for joining us, Red Bull TV on Apple TV, redbull.ca, and crankworx.com, and all the good people here at Whistler showing up or representing. Yannick Grenari right there going fronty up the cabin, something we hadn't seen, and that's the kind of stuff it's going to take to get up on a podium. And right now, your podium, the way it's playing out, Mazzeri's number 3, Reeder's number 2, Semenuk's number 1. And if you look at all the guys, Mazzeri surprised basically the world and getting in that 3rd spot back in 2011. But now Logan Pete, and you know, Logan Pete, like you're saying, coming off that injury, he's a guy that definitely has the skills. He's in 6th place right now. He could put a score in the 90s, but he's going to have to be clean top to bottom.
Well, I don't think that he's going to have a problem with that. If you've been watching the Bar for Life series, you've definitely been seeing Logan Pete. He's living on the coast with in Brandon's house with a bunch of other incredibly talented riders. He's traveling all around the world with some of the best names. He's making a big one for himself as well. 360 off the first drop, opposite 360 off the giant up box. Backflip tail whip for Logan Pete. Flying around, is he going to be able to make this one clean and stomp? Backflip bar spin on that first sender. Double tail whip for Logan. This rider, he's really been able to showcase his style in the last couple years, and I think he's going to be able to do it up here in Whistler. Up a whip to whip. Coming up into the cabin. Bar spin up the cabin for Logan Pete. Opposite 360 off. Big trick, big trick off of that step down there. And into the whale tail. Big backflip for Logan Pete, finishing it.
And now it all goes into the judges' hands for the score for Logan Pete. Logan has got his work cut out. Was that run good enough to beat Mazzeri's 82.4 in 3rd or Reeder's 94.2 in 2nd? I don't think it's going to challenge 1 and 2. But you got to think 82.4, maybe he can challenge that one, Ryan. Let's take a look at some of the replays of Logan Pete here.
Now, I think it's just so fun being up here in Crankworx. Logan looks super stoked to be able to get that run down off of his chest. Solid tricks like this, that backflip bar spin, so smooth and collected. And into the double tail whip. We were talking about precision earlier on things that you need to watch as a slopestyle rider. Logan definitely has a bunch of that, able to catch those pedals like nothing else. Like those 2 tail whips didn't even happen under his feet.
So now, once again, here we go. The score just to crack into the top 3. That's what he's trying to do. There you can see the Mazzeri score of the 82.4. I don't think that's going to challenge the 94.2. But we'll see if that can get him in a podium position as we wait for Logan Pete and see where he ends up here today at your Red Bull Joyride 2nd run in the book. All he can do is sit and wait and see. And the judges, Paul Rack and the crew, they're just making sure they put these guys in the right spot. Because with the talented riders that are so good at what these guys are doing, that it's hard to pretty much pick up exactly where to put them. So you really got to compare it, do shorthand what all the other riders are doing and compare the notes, and that's what the judges are doing.
Yeah, the judges definitely, you know, they get a hard time sometimes. Judges are always having a difficult call. You know, some people think, oh, that opinion wasn't right, my opinion was better. But the judges, you know, a lot of the time they really have so much pressure on them. It's nice that we can just give them a tiny bit of extra time so they're able to tabulate the stuff and make sure that the riders are sitting in a fair position after that result comes in. That's really what it comes down to. They want the riders to be happy with the result that they got.
All right. Well, is it enough? Can he get into the podium position? Waiting for the score to come in. The score coming in. And an 83.8. Logan Pete into the third spot. He's on the podium right now with an 83.8 for Logan Pete. So he is pumped, but I'll tell you one guy is probably not pumped. Anthony Mazzari, and remember what Anthony Mazzari said after his first run. He said there was kind of a safety run for him. I mean, well, I don't even know if that exists anymore.
Well, we've seen Anthony be able to do a lot of stuff, and I think he's learned throughout the days as he's getting a bit older that he's had to calm it down in run number 1, and then he's going to pull it out.
And now, Thomas Limon. What can he do now? And Limon down in 6. You know what? He's already put up a decent score. You would think a 73.6 is going to get you up there. Well, 73.6 with the competition today is only good enough for 6. So he knows what he has to do. It's his second and final run, and can he do it when it counts? Thomas Limon going in for his second and final run here today.
Thomas Limon, he was saying he's a little homesick. He's missing his girlfriend, Carla, out there who's watching him on the live stream. Nice to see he's doing it for the crowd here, though. Solid truck driver into a flip whip. Up that step up. Oh, blowing the feet off on that. Thomas Limon, that's going to be it for run number 2, I think.
And, you know, the situation, no matter what, Ryan, if you look at it still, if Thomas still remains in this position when it's said and done, stays in that 6th spot, which it looks like he's got to be in there, that's respectable with the caliber we're seeing today.
Oh, totally, and especially for the first time out here at Crankworx. You know, I'm missing the zebra pants, though. Do you remember we saw him a couple weeks ago? He was wearing zebra pants in the contest.
Yes.
He said, oh, I thought you were making a bit too much fun of me. Well, up here in Whistler, you can do anything you want. Bring it back. Hey, big tuck no-hander to bar spin. And then bar spin, tuck no-hander, showing he has so many tricks in his bag. He knows it's done. Waving to the crowd, Whistler. Give the French rider a warm welcoming up here in Canada. We know you're so friendly. Thomas Limon going down for his final run in Whistler. Big ol' 360 off the cabin, styling out into that toilet bowl, and up for the Bud Light whale tail. Tabletop up. Big tuck no-hander out.
Well, Thomas Limon going to finish it up right there, and he is going to end up in that 6th spot with just 3 more riders to go. We're talking about Mazzari on the way, Brett Reeder on the way, and Brandon Semenuk on the way. But one thing is guaranteed. It is going to be an all-Canada podium out here today. All right, so let's start focusing at Thomas' 6th place. Next up, we're going to have Anthony Mazzari coming up for you. Now, Anthony Mazzari, we talked about it earlier. He had said it was kind of a safety run just to get in that position. He's your overall leader when it comes to the Diamond Series right now. Fresh off that big old win in France and Les Deux Alpes. That's what has him leading the Diamond Series standings right now. He's on the outside. He's looking in. And here's a guy that can do it right now. Here it is, second and final run for the Red Bull rider. Put your hands together and get loud and proud for Anthony Mazzari.
Really solid tail up off that first drop. Double truck driver. Front flip off of the step up.
Oh.
Come on, Canada, get behind your boy. His family's cheering in the crowd below me. Cheer for this young boy. Anthony Mazzari popping it around. Back flip bar spin. Flying up into this cannon feature. Nice solid tail up from Anthony. He said he has some big tricks up his sleeve. What's he gonna be able to do? We know the kid goes higher than anyone else, and we know he has balls made out of other material than matter. 360 off of that step down feature.
cleans it nice and into the toilet bowl. The last Bud Light whale tail bar spin in. Backflip bar spin out.
Oh, Anthony Mazzeri, when it counts, puts it down. A relatively unknown back in 2011 came out here and shocked Whistler, took third place, and then just a month ago at Ladies Alp took a win. Can he do it? Ryan Meyer, can he get on the podium? Because right now he's in fourth. He's got to beat Logan Pete's 83.8 for third. Reeder's 94.2 for second. Or Semenuk's 96.8. But let's take a look at these replays.
Oh, and this was some additional work that he worked out coming up. Look at this here. Coming just off of the double truck driver into that front flip. Perfect execution, as we've seen riders under rotate a few times this evening. Anthony did not do so. Bar spin up into the dish, and that backflip bar spin out, totally taking his hands off the handlebars while they spin around 360 degrees when he's inverted. Difficult trick, especially doing off that final jump.
All right, well, it all comes down to this. Once again, may I give you a history lesson? 2011, he got that third place. Nobody even really knew who Anthony Mazzeri was back in 2011, but after he got third out here at Red Bull Joyride, he made a name for himself. Red Bull picked up the sponsorship of him, and he became a big dude in freeride. And he took the win in Ladies Alp. A lot of people say that was a pretty darn legit win by him taking that win. Now it is all up to the judges at this point. Does he have enough to crack into the top three right now for Anthony Mazzeri?
Crankworx being the #1 event in the league. This is really what brings it out of riders. He had a hard crash earlier in the week. He hit his head and he came back. I'm really happy to see him land 2 runs and down.
Let's see the score. What is Mazzeri gonna get? Does he get on? And Mazzeri, look at this, an 84. He's back on the podium right there. An 84 for Anthony Mazzeri, Ryan.
Oh, he looks just taken back. But we're not, we expected that, the run that deserves it. Anthony's back up there.
Anthony Mazzeri, you're guaranteed a spot on the podium. Your face said it all, but what are you feeling right now?
You know, just way too excited to be, I don't know, just, you know, in front of here, all my friends here and everything. It's awesome.
You said you were feeling a lot of pressure coming into this event to finish on the podium in front of all of your family and friends. What kind of accomplishment is this?
You know, it just feels so good. I don't know. Just can't wait to celebrate with everybody that's helped me, you know, throughout the years.
All right, congratulations. Anthony Mazzeri finishing, guaranteed to finish in third here today.
All right, well, third place has been determined. That is said and done. So let's move forward. Anthony Mazzeri is going to grab third. He's on the podium, but it's these 2 guys. 2 more guys to go. I'm talking about Brett Reeder. I'm talking about Brandon Semenuk. Reeder in second. Semenuk in the top spot. Reeder is going to get the nod here for his second and final run. He is all about game face. And here he comes right now, currently in second with a 94.2. Get loud, mucho respect for Brett Reeder.
Brett Reeder had his game face on early this morning when I saw him and he was contemplating his run. Big backflip off the flat drop. 360 bar, oh no! Oh, he's up.
He is okay. He is up. You know what to do, Whistler. Let's everyone in here show your respect. He was injured last year. He's come on out here. He's ending up in second. Let's hear it for Brett Reeder. Everyone here in Whistler, come on. Well, let's take a look at Brett Reeder. It was all or nothing at this point. You've already had a smoke and run, Ryan Meyer. So you got to even step it up if that's even possible. So let's take a look here at Reeder on the second run.
You know, I know he had a lot bigger tricks that he had to worry about in his run than that truck driver to bar back. But unfortunately, it looks like he wasn't able to get it over rotated that truck driver. I thought it was a little uncharacteristic seeing him do it a little different in run 2, but let's just check out what went wrong. Let's take a little look back at the replay of Brett Reeder's second run. Up here on that giant up box, goes for the 360 bar spin to bar back and doesn't throw the bars. I think that's what made him over rotate a tiny bit. I mean, that's just my guess looking at the screen.
Nice to see he's up and about, though. You know, he's going to be coming in a very good position as well. So I know Brett is very happy from his performance today still.
No matter what, you definitely don't want to hang your head low on a show that he put on today with that first run. Putting up a 94.2, Brett Reeder is going to take second place and get his way on down. And then we bring him down here to the base. I want everyone, there he is right there. Let's hear it for him. Here he comes, Brett Reeder. An amazing day, an amazing first run, and he's going to come away with the second place finish out here, Red Bull Joyride. Boy, you couldn't script it better than a Hollywood movie. What a battle between these guys, Semenuk and Reeder, off the bat. And you know what? And you've seen Semenuk have trouble on the first run in the past, but today he did not have trouble on his first run. That is 100% for sure. As Reeder coming on down, he's getting around the whale tail here. And as he comes into Skiers Plaza right down there, here he is at the top of the knoll. Whistler, you know what to do. Come on, just do it. Brett Reeder, second place out here today with a 94.2 and a respectable finish for him. And now Brandon Semenuk, the local boy, has done what no other free ride man has done in the history of the Red Bull Joyride, and that means he's won it 3 times, 6 podiums, and a 3-time winner as he comes in for his victory lap. Give it up, much respect for Brandon Semenuk!
Oh, he's not even going to take it easy. Backflips off flat drops are common practice, I guess, for the local Whistler boy. Come on, Whistler. Your last rider, your 2014 Crankworx Whistler champion, Brandon Semenuk! So much style for days. Nobody thought he could do it. He thought he was going to crack under pressure, but he proved you all wrong. He doesn't do a lot of contests these days, but he wins the best one there is, the Red Bull Joyride.
Oh, man. How sweet it is. 3 times the winner. Red Bull Joyride, Brandon Semenuk on the victory lap. 6 podiums to his credit during the Red Bull Joyride, but 3 wins. The first ever member of the 3-timer club. Give it up for Brandon Semenuk one more time. Let's send it down to Jackie Montgomery and see if she can get a word in as they manhandle him right there.
I'm trying to get to Brandon, but obviously a huge celebration down here. Brandon, the first person ever to win the Red Bull Joyride 3 times. How does it feel to be champion once again?
Like, words can't describe. So awesome, so stoked. I landed the last fucking jump. Can't even believe it.
To do this in front of your home crowd, your local boy, is it even more special?
Yeah, of course. Like, so much friends and family here, and I don't know, massive crowd that just cheered so loud. It's so sick.
Congratulations on the win. Now I have Brett Reeder here. Brett, I know you're hoping to finish that off strong. You had so much planned for your second run, but you missed out last year competing because of a broken back. How does it feel to come back and get second place?
It's hard to describe. It feels awesome to be down here. I mean, obviously, I wish I could have done a second run, but, you know, these runs are so complex that they're so hard to make it down, you know, every single time. So I'm just happy I stuck my first run.
Also from Canada, I know that you and Brandon are good friends. Is it a consolation prize to share the podium with Brandon?
Yes, it is.
Man, a few words, guys. We'll send it back up to you.
I'll tell you what. Now, Ryan Meyer, I just got to say, first of all, There you go. Take a look at that. Canada 4, Canada 3, Canada 2, Canada 1. A Canadian sweep out here.
Hey, but the French guys seem to be catching up. We'll have to see what's planning out for the next ones.
But let me just say this. I talked to Brandon Semenuk. You know what? We'll do that in just a little bit. I definitely want to talk about what I went down and talked about. Brandon Semenuk, man. Now? All right. Well, it is time to get done with the awards here for you for your Red Bull Joyride. And it's time to hand out the hardware. In third place, doing it for Red Bull with a score of 84 even. Give it up for Anthony Mazzeri. Second time Mazzeri has landed on the podium. He did it in 2011, and he's back on the podium in 2014. Put that bronze Crankworx medal around his neck. There you go. Anthony Mazzeri, third place, and getting himself on the podium once again. And in second place, doing it for Trek at 94.2. Give it up for Brett Reeder. Brett Reeder coming back from a tough injury last year with a broken back, coming out with vengeance this year. Relax, calm, cool, and collect. A podium in Colorado, but the biggest podium of his career right here today. And the moment you've been waiting for, your gold medal winner. He's been on the podium a record 6 times at your Red Bull Joyride. This is his third win in the Red Bull Joyride. Doing it for Trek, the local boy. Get loud for Brandon Semenuk. No other rider has matched what he has done. Like I said, 6 podiums and 3 wins in your Red Bull Joyride, and he's your champ. Red Bull Joyride 2014, Brandon Semenuk. How amazing, Ryan Meyer, is it for Brandon Semenuk to do what no one has done? I mean, first of all, a 3-time winner, that's never been done. 6 podiums, Red Bull Joyride, that's never been done.
I mean, he said it himself. He landed the last jump. That's been like the demon in his head, you know, not being able to, getting everything done and then not being able to last the final thing. I mean, I'm ecstatic for every single one of my friends on the podium there. It's so good to see those boys do well. And you know the nice thing?
Yeah.
Everyone came down okay today. There were no big injuries, and I really like seeing that in a contest this big.
And I'll tell you what, also, you got to think about Brett Reeder. I mean, broken back last year. I mean, the guy was in the driver's seat. He was having an amazing year to start the season off last year. Then he gets injured, and it takes him out of the whole mix the entire season, and he had to wait till this year for redemption. And sharing the podium with a teammate, that's probably pretty special for Reeder.
Oh, it is, and all these guys are teammates in some way or another. They're such good friends. We all hang out constantly. We go out for dinners together, especially when we're traveling around. You're with pretty much 30 of your best friends. So I think it's just a win-win for everyone else. So stoked to see the little man, Anthony, on the podium as well. He really deserves it.
And I got to think that Anthony Mazzeri, it's unofficial this one, but I got to think he's going to be still leading the FMB Diamond Series rankings because he got a first and he's got a third so far in the first 2 Diamond stops. So that's big news for Anthony Mazzeri. Well, we'll be coming back at you. Ryan Meyer, Brad J in the booth. We'll be breaking down our final thoughts. We'll be coming right back with more right here live from Whistler and your Red Bull Joyride. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. Oh, I don't know where to start with this one. Ryan Meyer, Brad J in the booth. And Ryan, you got some final thoughts that you just want to help me out with after this whole thing? I don't even know what to say.
I mean, we're pretty much speechless, just like the rest of them. Like I said, I'm incredibly happy to see all these boys make it down in one piece. 2-run format, changing things up. We didn't have that big super final, and I guess we didn't need it because that was an incredible show that they put on for us.
I'll tell you what, and here's my thing right now. After talking to Brandon Semenuk, and I've spent some time talking to him. I've been out here for about 10 days here at Crankworx, and I've talked to him probably 3 or 4 times, including today. And one thing I noticed about him, a lot of people say the pressure's there. I didn't see any pressure in his eyes. I saw him laughing. I saw him joking. I saw him telling me that this is the best ever Red Bull Joyride course in the history of the Red Bull Joyride. So when I saw that, I started thinking to myself, like, he's really comfortable. The pressure is not getting to him, and he's doing good. And he showed it out here today. Pressure didn't get to him, comes away with the win.
And I think that's something Crankworx capitalizes on so well, is being able to take a rider input and putting it into their courses like this. You said he's so comfortable on the course. I think that was the consensus from every one of the riders. They had so much fun out here because Crankworx does it for the riders. It's such an event. They have so much fun coming here. It's just a blast.
I'll tell you what, the best riders in the world, the best course in the world, the best venue in the world, and the best free ride mountain bike competition in the world, bar none. And you just saw it all go down. Well, I'll tell you what, tomorrow, Canadian Open coming your way. We're going to start that webcast at 3 o'clock, and that'll be going on until 5. And the sad part is that's going to be the 10th and final day for Crankworx. So sad indeed. 3 to 5 tomorrow, Canadian Open. It's going to be something you don't want to miss. Always saving that one. That's such a fun event. And please join us for that. The webcast will kick off at 3 to 5. Also go to crankworx.com, crankworx.com for all the information regarding Red Bull Joyride. That is the place to go. All that and more. I'll tell you what, thanks for coming out. On behalf of Brad Ewan, Jackie Montgomery, Ryan Meyer, DJ Science on the ones and twos, and our entire Crankworx crew, I'm Brad J. Good night from Whistler. See ya!
Biggest tricks, but we backflip up top of the cabin. Oh, and going for doing really well. It up onto that. Oh, going.
Only been done a few different times. You got
zing. Oh,
he got a first place
for the improved and worked on his technical ability. 3-6.
New Zealand, very cool. That's from Nar Bike.
And coming into this beautiful toilet bowl bar spin up top into the whale tail. And a nice soul. They're going to like that one.
Kind of airy coming up.
Indian Air.
Ryan.
Louis Ribot. Gosiak still trying to go for it. He won.
Right. Let's get back upstairs.
Line go down for the rest. Up into that Red Bull cannon. Double line into the jaw. Front flip. No! Oh!